333. RIPP. Don P. PhD. Yo. I said, RIP TV. Tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? RIPP. God bless the real. Only for the righteous. The rest will go to hell. Flipping through the book of Revelation, figure it out. Transliterate the translation, do it yourself. It's the last days, life is a test and we in a cage. Concrete jungle, everyday struggle. Fuck the pain, I'm on some HNIC shit. Hegelian 3 shit. If you don't know what I mean, you was never G. Real shit, RIP. Yo, P, play that beat back, 333. Burn some weed, repeat that. Shake me up a Tuka pack, break me off a 20 piece. I'm gone, never looking back. Y'all can't talk to me. RIP TV, tell a homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? Like the weed, play some IMD for me. It's hell on earth for real, but y'all don't wanna see paper trail politics. All the shit was prophecy, strictly for the family. Peace to the prodigy. RIPP, I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams, bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. RIPP, I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams, bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. Yo.
Hey, there we are. What up? Kal-El, what up? Bud Toker, what up, homie? Yeah, I'm late, but on time. Both at the same time. Meaning I went on at 8, but there we go. What up, homie?
Bing blow.
Yo, so they only fold pizza in half in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm sitting here like trying to finish this before 8 o'clock, and I didn't get it done. I'm sitting there looking at it like I didn't used to do this in West Virginia.
That's some us shit right there.
Yeah, it's 100% New York, and if you don't do this, the shit's just gonna fall over anyway.
If you go out of town, that's an easy way to tell on yourself. Like, you'll never see pizza. People just eat their pizza like this. So if you don't want to single yourself out, do it how the indigenous peoples of wherever you at do it. Because if you fold it, they're gonna spot you as New York all day.
So I was watching some random true crime thing on there's the homie on HBO Max, and that's how somebody got busted.
Oh, straight. I think we saw the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, they folded their pizza.
Yep.
That's how I know that they're from here.
Yep. They're like, pizza's folded, East Coast, New York. We know who it was.
Exactly. Yeah, we saw the same joint. That's true. That's how they get you.
Oh.
And that's how they get you.
Indeed. Roger Harper emerging from the shadows. What up, homie?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Damn.
Good evening.
Damn, Roger.
Good.
Damn, Roger Harper got the outside flat screen. You must have done well in the NFL, homie. Shit.
Oh, shit. I'm still riding the coattails.
Yo, you're killing it on the bracket right now, though, man.
Man, can you believe that?
Yo, you dominated us. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know what Carries looks like. I'm out of it.
I all I know is I think I represented from my alma mater. If so, then at least we Final Four. You know what I'm saying?
This guy got all 4 Final Four teams.
Oh, word. Well, thank you for representing the Cougs. Appreciate that.
Exactly. I think I sent it to your email, Kerry. I couldn't believe
Okay,
it.
all right. I gotta check it out. Yo, I haven't even looked at anything. I haven't had a chance.
I know. That's how I would.
to watch my team play.
I just know I had Michigan in my in the Final Four, and I just happened just to go to check it, and I seen all my teams still in the bracket. I was like, damn.
Crazy. That's crazy. Well, first of all, there's someone out there who chose Oral Roberts to go the length Oral Roberts went. Like, what do you? How are you thinking? Like, how are you thinking this way? I mean, this is a straight Rona inspired bracket, as we know.
Exactly.
Still,
I'm too much of a fan. I was out of it the second WVU loss. I was gone. Done. Carrie knows me. I'm too much of a homer.
it was supposed to be a matchup between our teams, but then Syracuse tapped that, and I was like, oh, we're going to get Syracuse?
Yo, and then you look at that Houston and Syracuse game, and Syracuse just went ice buckets cold. And I was just like, you couldn't have done that against WVU?
Well, also, WVU doesn't have a Giroux like we do, who we put Giroux, oh, is that your man? Giroux, go get him. And he'll still almost get you a triple dub in college. So that kid is nice.
Yeah, WVU transitioned from press Virginia and strictly defense to just trying to outshoot everybody now.
Yeah, that was really interesting because they went totally against what gave Bob Huggins all of his success throughout his career.
Yeah, I know. Well, he said he said these players can score with anybody. I actually have people who can score now. I'm not have to force to play defense. And he's right. If they can score, but what happens if the other team is on fire, like NBA Jam on fire? That shit, the ball was literally on fire. Dude, they just
And with the coach's son.
dude, they couldn't miss.
When you're the man on your father's team, I give you one victory in the tournament. Maybe two, but normally one victory. You're good for one victory.
Buddy Buckets, they call him now.
I mean, I didn't know he could shoot like that, though.
Well, the funny thing is, it's not funny. It's actually kind of dope. They showed a video of Carmelo his freshman year playing with Buddy Buckets, and Buddy was like 4 years old.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
He had a big ass Melo jersey on that hit the floor and his little legs and shit.
Between Melo and McNamara, he saw the path to be great at Syracuse.
McNamara is one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah, and so
And they said he's excellent. He's excellent.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to end up taking over for Boeheim when he retires.
he's going to be a coach definitely one day. Well, I thought Boeheim had already elected someone to take over for him. I thought
he was done already. I thought it was.
That dude might have gotten in trouble. I don't know.
You know what, though, Kerry? I always confuse Boeheim and Jim Calhoun.
I get that.
Always confuse those two because of the whole Big East thing, and they were both the same age.
The artist formerly known as the Big East. I don't even know. Not
All right.
Big East. Oh.
All right, so now that I'm done eating on camera, which is something I never really want to do, but I need to eat some fucking food. There's no way I was going to make it through this one. So it's the irony is palpable. We got to try to fix the goddamn Eagles, and the Eagles just made a power move, fellas.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, let's see. How did this trade? It's a 3-team trade. So the Eagles, Niners, and who was the third one, Kerry? Dolphins. Eagles, Niners, and Dolphins all jockeyed position and draft picks. And it was crazy because the Eagles moved down out of their draft position to 12th and then traded right back up to number 6. So the question is, there's one thing that's been floating around right now is because they still have draft capital because of the trade back, right? So do the Eagles go out? Yeah.
Next year.
Well, even with that draft capital, do the Eagles take a swing at Russell Wilson? Is the new rumor.
Right.
Wow.
That's, I was like, they could definitely use because now they have 3 number 1 draft picks in next year's draft.
Yeah.
So they could change their destiny very quickly if they can find a taker. And either, I mean, they have enough now. I would say for a run at Deshaun, even. But
Yeah, well, the rumor with Deshaun right now is he's actively trying to settle all of these claims out of court.
19, 20, I mean,
Yeah, I like it when it's smoky in the room.
got like 25 lighters on the dresser at this point.
Woo!
Jody's trying to get paid.
They all about to get paid. They're looking at him like, you about to sign a $250 million deal, homie.
It's
Yeah,
25 females. It's 25 females now.
27.
Oh my god, that's fucked up.
I mean, I don't.
So here's the weird thing about that. Not one criminal charge has been filed.
It's all very
All
confusing.
civil suits.
Yeah, all of them are civil suits, and you know what that means because it's going to be easier just to pay to get them to go away.
Right, because if it was criminal, then you would have to prove it. And if you've waited however long this has been, what do you have? There's no proof.
Well, there's also the threat of filing a false police report, and then, that's a felony charge, and, there's jail time and fines involved. So it's just like, hey, it's very telling that there has not been one single criminal complaint filed from 27 different women who are accusing him.
So far, no evidence turned over to his defense team. I mean, come on.
No text messages, no videos, no conversations, no nothing.
And also, you also had to know when you see 1, there's going to be 2. When you see 2, there's going to be 4. And they're like, oh, this thing could keep going, and it's just going to keep multiplying. Like, yeah, I think I didn't like the way he looked at me. Yep, I didn't like it. I'm on the list.
Yeah, add me onto the list, man. I got bills to pay. Roger Harper, shit. Deshaun Watson, he looked at me funny once too. I want paid.
I mean, this is why, certain athletes, like, you won't catch LeBron alone. You won't catch him alone.
Ever.
Just won't do it. This won't, you can't put nothing on him because you're never going to get him alone. And most oftentimes, you're going to have to talk through an intermediary. So you're not even going to talk to him. You're going to talk to his person. And then even though LeBron could be right there, his person will relay the message, not you.
Well, honestly, I mean, at this point, Savannah's going to be there anyway. So, you're going to have to just speak to her directly.
True. Why you think what's his face? Doug Christie's wife never left his side. She was on that road right with him. When he got in beef on the court, she was right on the court with him.
She was a wild one, yo.
I know. I mean, I know. You don't exactly want that, but at the same time, there's sharks out here, man. Like you cannot just leave it up to here said, he said, she said. You can't do it. You got to roll with somebody, at least 1 to 2 other people. Have them right there. Ain't nothing happen.
All right, so that 3-team trade is definitely the biggest talking topic today. So we gotta look at it. Let's just look at each team individually throughout this trade. So we'll go with the Eagles last because that's who we're breaking down anyway. So the Dolphins are the one who pulled the trigger because they had the draft slot anyway. So they're the ones who are willing to move back, which means that
but San Francisco was the one calling.
Yes. But
San Francisco, hey, we want this QB.
Of course they did, but the Dolphins had to say, yeah, no, we'll move back. So that's a vote of confidence in Tua.
Yes, big.
100.
And they moved so far back as to knock themselves out of position to get one of those receivers.
Yes.
All those receivers, well, at least the majority, one may be gone, but I doubt it. They're still in position to get all of them because I think the Bengals are picking right before them. So maybe they'll take the kid out of Florida, if anything, even though they should definitely take Penny Sewell.
They should, but I think that tight end's going to go off the board before any real wide receivers do this year because he's different.
Yeah.
He's different.
Yeah. He will. That's what I'm saying. And so it's really up to the Bengals if the Bengals choose him or if they choose Penny. I think they really should choose Penny.
Well, we've talked about that, and I think they're going to. It's smart. Everybody knows you build from the inside out in football. So,
Especially after you saw how Joey Boybank got folded up.
and
You know?
honestly, Kerry, do you really need to go get like Jalen Waddle or Devontae or anybody when you've got T. Higgins is already a proven number one? You could wait until round 2 to get you a number 2.
Wait to round 2. That kid from Minnesota should still be there. That kid is nice. He's supposed to go to Georgia.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They can get a number 2 or a slot receiver later on. So just build up front, get that tackle, because then you have 2 of them, and you're and 2 really really good ones, like really really good ones.
Absolutely.
So then you look at the 49ers. The 49ers making this power move up. That means Jimmy G is out of here. Get out of here, Jimmy G.
All the talk coming out of their camp, well, basically, the way Shanahan ripped it down now, he was just like, yeah, I told Jimmy G, and I would be pissed too. Yeah, he mad. But, he plays better when he's mad. Like, I like the way they're talking. Him and John Lynch, like, yeah, this is what we do as a team. It'd be irresponsible not to. So, of course, we have to check
You really have to like, as football players, you have to like how Lynch and Shanahan operate.
Hell
I
yeah.
really do like how they operate.
It would make me want to be in that organization. Like, all right, they shot me straight. The only way this cat is not going to take my spot is for me not to let him. Okay, enough said.
Well, Kerry, there's also the aspect of you don't want to diminish any trade value on Jimmy G by being like, oh yeah, we're moving on, blah blah blah. That's all you keep saying. Nah, he's in our plans, blah blah. You keep saying that because you don't want to diminish what you can get in return for him.
Lynch was a hard hitting ass safety, but he went to Stanford. Dude is not dumb, not in the least bit. So yeah, he knows what he's doing. Like I said before, San Francisco was the only team in the league that was 3 to 4 players deep,
Yeah.
every position.
No, their roster was absolutely fucking loaded.
Still in every game, so that was ridiculous. But yeah, I could definitely. The talk is Mac Jones, which I guess it has to be because you have to assume. Well, you already know.
Well, actually, I mean, the talk is between Mac Jones and Trey Lance.
And Trey Lance, yes.
But if you get Trey, see, this is it. You got to peel back the first layer. So if they go and get Trey Lance, they're keeping Jimmy G.
They have to. Yeah.
If you get Mac Jones, Jimmy G's got to go, and you just put that kid as a starter because the story is that Mac Jones literally taught the Bill O'Brien Alabama's offense.
And that's Oh well, he was there the entire time. Yeah, he knows it backwards and forwards.
That's what I'm. Plus, they said he's one of the smartest players that has ever played at Alabama, and that's a big deal for a quarterback.
Absolutely. Not only that, after he played, and he had the wealth of tools that we always talk about, he still represented in the Senior Bowl, and he still represented in his pro day. So,
which was key because we've always talked about the absolute stable of stallions that they have at Alabama, and are you actually good, or is just everyone making you better? See, typically a quarterback makes everyone around them better. Alabama's roster is so loaded, it always made the quarterback look better than they were.
And many times it absolutely did. But
100%.
In this instance, though, the way that he's been looking, and even in his pro day, he was throwing to like a freshman and sophomore tight end, and like guys he wasn't normally throwing to. And so he was a little disappointed in himself, but everybody else was impressed. So that also tells you something about him, that he stayed at Alabama knowing that he had all these 5 stars ahead of him, and he was still confident he was going to get a shot.
And he did get his shot, and sometimes you just have to wait until your shot comes. That's it. Just be ready.
Like, you have to know, you go to a program like that, you're going to win. You're going there to win a natty.
Yeah.
And are you going to be a contributor, or are you just going to be a ring bearer? And he wanted to be a contributor, and he got his opportunity. He had to wait to senior year, and he did it.
So we also have to look at the aspect, Roger, of the history of Kyle Shanahan's ability to make quarterbacks play better than they actually are, because he's got a lineage of it. So typically everywhere he's been, their quarterbacks have performed. They punch way above their weight class, especially Matt Ryan. So
Matty Ice Cream.
Matty Ice Cream is very I think Mac Jones, they keep saying, oh, Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady. Shut the fuck up. There's only one Tom Brady. You don't do that. Don't compare him to that guy. That's unfair to that kid. I look at it more as another Matt Ryan. Cerebral quarterback from, Matt Ryan went to Boston College, so you had to be smart to go there.
Yep.
And, marginal talent. He's got his quarterbacking talent. He has it. He can play. And then if you get placed within the proper system to where Shanahan, he's got it, dude. You could tell that guy all he did is just draw up plays as a kid because look at him. He never played football. You can see it in his face. Yeah, he's never played the game, but he was always on the sideline with his dad.
Play him in Madden.
Yeah.
He always had 2 or 3 audibles ready for that ass.
Oh, yeah.
But also how he favors Matt, a.k.a. Matty Ice Cream, is when Matt got to the league, he always had that stud in Julio. Like, once he got that stud, you saw he knew how to get the rock to Julio. If anything, we also know this about Mac. Mac knows how to get the rock to his studs. He knows how to
Yeah, I think that's a really great fit for them, and then that would also answer the Patriots quarterback question because Bill's got a thing for Jimmy G. We know this. But the Patriots have also been gunning for Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. That's their target because they knew they weren't going to be able to pick the first couple quarterbacks, but they think they could have got him. So that would kill 2 birds with 1 stone right there.
Contingency plan was always Trey Lance, not their first plan.
Yeah.
If it makes sense to them, because they could just say, you know what, next year. And then they just keep building on other things.
Well, the problem with next year is this draft is quarterback heavy at the front end.
It is.
Where last year was receivers galore.
Right. And there's linemen. There's linemen this year.
Yeah, well, there's typically always linemen, given the fact that there's fucking probably 20 linemen per team. Oh my God, are you kidding me? This is so early. Holy shit.
Huge?
Yeah, you guys know I always get surprised when I see this shit pop up on my screen. Oh shit, and it's light in the room. God damn, look at that shirt.
You must have went shopping at I'm so oppressed.
What up, fellas? What's up?
What up? What up, Nice?
Work is done.
God damn, look at that shit.
Yo, Nice. You remember when that one dude showed up at Infamous, and remember that time period where everybody was wearing the Captain Crunch shirts? Mm-hmm. Remember they all had the captain shirts with the fucking tassels and shit. Remember he opened the door and I went, "Oh shit, King of Scotland." The last King of Scotland. Yo, he got so mad at me. I think he actually took that shit off.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
We're sitting there pontificating about this ridiculous 3-team trade that happened this past week.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. They everybody's going crazy for these quarterbacks, man.
So Nice. What we already laid out is we already went through what the Dolphins are thinking by moving back. So that means they're probably going to keep Tua.
Yeah, they're going to keep Tua. They're going to add some weapons around them. They're
So
going to move back and get either an offensive lineman or a weapon,
And then so you have to look at San Francisco's angle on that. They're definitely going quarterback.
Yeah, they going Justin.
You don't trade 3 number 1s to go get any other position besides a quarterback.
Yeah, they were trying to get move up to get Zach Wilson, but it seems like they're going with Justin Fields.
Well, so apparently they contacted every team on the board all the way up to the 3rd team, the Dolphins. They didn't even attempt to contact the Jets. So that's a sign that the Jets have already made their decision.
Oh, yeah.
You got to remember, Robert Saleh was there, who was with the 49ers, so they're going to let him live. They're like, you know what, that's you.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
They go. I told you last week, the Jets going with Zach Wilson. They are bought in on this kid.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that for a second. Did everybody see that goddamn throw?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
All right, I don't care if it's a pro day or not. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't care. Across the body, and it was just a flick of the wrist.
67 yards.
That was sick. On the money.
Across the field on the money. I don't care if there's nobody guarding you. There's only
Right.
Patrick Mahomes and a young Aaron Rodgers, the only two people who can even make that throw.
Yeah. Nah, you
Hardest
didn't
throws
see
in
the other
football.
one when he jumped and threw it across all the way across 60 yards. I'm like, yo, with the flick of the wrist, like his I ain't gonna lie, his throwing ability is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He has a ridiculous arm.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch college football this past season. So 2 years ago, he didn't really have like a wow year.
Yeah.
So it was befuddling for me to wonder why he flew up the board so much. And then I saw that throw, and I was just like, oh, that throw got him the number 2 pick. That
Yeah.
throw alone.
That throw alone, I mean, Justin Fields tried to do it too today, but it wasn't as how Zach Wilson did it.
Dude, Zach Wilson did it like he's always been able to do that. He doesn't have to try.
Yeah, it was like he did it in one motion. Justin Fields actually waited a little bit. Like he had to set himself when he came back around to throw it. It was similar, but it was nothing like Zach Wilson.
I'm telling you, that's that baseball in Zach Wilson for sure.
Well, see,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
again. So we talked about this before. So you had the Patrick Mahomes effect of
Yeah.
playing baseball his whole life because his dad was a pitcher, right?
Yeah.
So he played basketball too, and now you got Zach Wilson who shot up the number 2 and is able to make throws like that. So finally, we are going to see kids starting to play more than just quarterback when they're young.
also,
Yeah.
Russell Wilson and
Russell
Kyler.
Wilson and Kyler, you're right. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're looking at the rise of baseball players playing quarterback now,
Playing quarterback now.
and that's just going to make more of it happen. And I'm all
Yeah.
for it because I don't think you should at 8 years old you should be like, yeah, I'm a quarterback, and then that's all you do your whole fucking life.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach has definitely locked himself in that number 2 spot without a doubt. I mean, he locked it in so much. Even Trevor Lawrence had to be like, sheesh.
Well, because all right, nice. Anybody who's ever thrown a football in their entire life knows how difficult what he just did is.
Yeah. That joint is difficult.
Dude, I don't even think I'm throwing that past 25 yards, let alone 67.
I'm not throwing that joint 25 yards. I ain't gonna lie. And be all accurate.
Yo,
Nah,
I swear to God, yo, nice. At 40 years old, if I tried to do that, I might tear a rotator cuff.
Yeah. You're finished. You're not throwing the ball again after that.
I got golf to play, man. I'm not even attempting that shit, man. So nice. What do you think about the Eagles now that they moved back to 12, which looked like possibly a play for a wide receiver since they did just let Deshaun Jackson go.
Yeah,
But-
that's where they going.
But I think it's different because they moved back up to number 6. I think they're going to take that Florida tight end because they've had Zach Ertz on the shopping block for a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they moved back up to 6, right?
They moved back up to 6, which means that they got to be going after that tight end because
Yeah,
They got
they got to get him.
they have to, because you have to look. Sorry, it's number 1 Lawrence, number 2 Zach Wilson, number 3
Justin Fields or Matt Jones.
it's going to be Mac Jones. They're going to go with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
So then you go down to number 4. Who's got the 4th pick?
I think Atlanta, right? Ain't it Atlanta?
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah, we did Atlanta. Well, they've got Matt Ryan.
But they still gonna draft a quarterback though.
They're looking at Trey Lance as well.
See,
And
they're looking at quarterback of the future. So
Yeah.
you could just still have Matty Ice Cream do his thing, and then Trey Lance just sit, and he needs to.
he needs to sit and learn. So that's what Atlanta's going to do. So who's got the 5th pick?
So now we're talking.
Cincinnati. And
Cincinnati, that's a reunion going on in Cincinnati right there. They're gonna take
so I think Cincinnati at that spot is definitely going to take a tackle.
They need to. They got to take Penny Sewell.
They're going to. So then that leaves Pitts at number 6. So the Eagles move back up into the right spot.
yeah.
We also have to know who we're dealing with. And they were called the Bungles for a very long time for a reason. Okay? So even though we all see that it's very clear that they should get that tackle out of Oregon, I don't with a talent like Pitts sitting there, just
Yeah.
shining, the way it's shining, they're like, oh, I don't know. We can always get another tackle, right? Don't you
Yeah.
want boy band?
But I think if they ask Joey Backstreet what he wants, he's going to be like, "Yo, give me another fucking tackle, please."
Yeah,
I think they're gonna go with.
quarterbacks wish they had input and don't. Yeah, the quarterback's like, yes, I wish you do this. They're like, okay, we're gonna do the opposite.
Yeah, but Kerry, the difference is Joey Bag of Donuts, Joey Backstreet, Joey Boy Band. He's what, like 26 years old. You know, his coach is like 33. For Christ's sakes.
I think Joey Boydman's like 24.
That's what I'm saying. So you're looking at a coach that's one of the youngest coaches in the league. So I think his connect to his players, especially as quarterback, is going to be a little bit more fortified than one of the older heads.
Quarterback too. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean,
I think they gonna go with that wide receiver from LSU, man. That's who I think they going for.
And that's what I'm saying. If the Dolphins pop up, which would then be after the Eagles, right? Because the Dolphins choosing 7th. I mean, if Jamar Chase is sitting there, I mean, I know Jalen Waddle is Tua's boy, but if you have Jamar Chase, you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, you gotta go with Jamar Chase.
All you have to do is go look at the film for when Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase were both on the field at the same time, and Chase was dominating the game.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, I know these are your boys, Tua, but you see that? Remember when that beat you in the Natty? Remember that? Yeah, we're gonna go get that.
Yeah, against an Alabama defense too. So remember what he did to you guys?
Yeah. Jamar Chase is definitely going around that area right there.
Well, you've got him, and then you got the 2 Alabama receivers. You're going to be able to get Jalen Waddle maybe in the second round, back end of the first, and maybe second.
Because Devontae, everybody's going to be high on Devontae because he won the Heisman, so he has to go.
I promise you, Jalen Waddle will not survive the first round. I promise you.
It'll be more towards the back.
Yeah, it'd be more towards the back,
he will not get out the first round. He will be chosen in that first round for sure.
Yeah, him, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, they're going in the first. Yeah. They're all going in the first.
Even the other receiver out of LSU. I swear I keep forgetting.
Yeah. No, he produces too. It's just you had so many studs in front of him.
He's big, like he's borderline a tight end. So making end zone routes all day. He's just deboing dudes. So
speaking of LSU tight ends, whatever happened to Randy Moss's son? Who did he get drafted by?
So he actually,
I don't know.
He made it. It's just that.
Was it Washington? Was he on Washington?
I don't know.
Did Washington take him?
I think his name is Thaddeus.
It's Thaddeus Moss.
Yeah, I think he went. Did he go to Washington?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, I think he might have slid in Washington's hand somewhere.
Yeah, Washington.
I knew it. But he hasn't been producing though.
Well, I mean,
5, 6, 7, like Logan Thomas.
That's what I'm saying. Logan Thomas started getting busy, man. But his last name is Moss, though, so it's just like, we should probably put this guy on the field and see what he can do.
Get a shine. Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you guys. It's Eagles centered today. They let Deshaun Jackson go. So that means they're going to get a wide receiver at some point in the draft. Deshaun Jackson ends up in L.A., which is a good spot for him because they got everything else.
Yeah.
That speed on the Rams? Yeah.
Yeah, plus, Matthew Stafford's still got a cannon. He can get it to him.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're also asking Deshaun Jackson to limit what you need from here. Just run really fast, dude.
Really fast. That's it.
I think he's too old to return punts and kicks at this point in his career.
Well, he's too fragile.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, that comes with the 10 years in the league, the fragility. Because when he was younger, I mean, we all remember what he did to the Cowboys.
Yep. And the Giants.
And
All
the
Nobody brought shit up like that.
Why you? Hey, nice. Why you always bringing up old shit?
You know what I'm saying? what we talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't jab each other like that. Come on now.
I had to throw it out there, man. I just had to, man.
Yo, so Kerry, did you guys sign Adoree Jackson? Did that happen?
Yes, it happened.
Okay.
It happened. That was a great sign.
Really great signing. So now you definitely have another returner. And you got a corner with speed. I mean, this kid is only 25 years old.
So
Yeah.
is Logan Ryan on your team?
Yep.
So you got Logan Ryan, Bradbury, and now you can make Adoree Jackson play in the slot.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid 3 cornerback setup right there. You guys
yeah,
got.
yeah. The Giants' defense is going to be a problem.
That's what I'm feeling good about it. I definitely need another edge rusher. Definitely need that. You know, I was actually looking at that kid Rousseau who took he took a year off out of Miami, because he's 6'7", 270, 265, 270, but he's 20 years old. He's gonna grow into his body.
Oh, Phillips, you're talking about?
No, Rousseau.
Phillips kid?
No, Gregory Rousseau.
Oh, okay.
He didn't play this year though, which is why Phillips got busy this year.
Phillips is a monster.
Busy this year.
Oh my God! Whoever picks him up is a oof.
And
He
then
had a 4-3 today.
Keetway out of Michigan, the defensive end, which they're saying he may go to Dallas. I mean, he's a thicker dude. I mean, he's got some get up, but to me, Rousseau has more upside, especially what we already have on the line.
So let me ask you guys something. What the fuck are the Texans doing?
Nobody knows. No one knows. They're just grabbing people.
Yo, Dante Moncrief. That's you really signed Dante Moncrief?
They bring him back again.
I don't know.
Him back again.
I like Dante Moncrief, but I don't know if he's run a professional route in like 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you. It says Texans signed Dante Moncrief to fill hole left by Will Fuller. I don't think Dante Moncrief is filling any holes.
Dante Moncrief is finished, man. I'm surprised he's still getting work.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. What the fuck are the Texans thinking?
The Texans, I mean, look at all the signings that they have. It's just a bunch of people they're just grabbing. I guess they just trying to distract people from the Deshaun Watson situation.
Before I call Dante Moncrief, I see the shape T.O. in.
All right, so I will say this though: the Texans did sign Desmond King and Vernon Hargraves. So
yeah, that's good to go with.
Well, they're gonna need good corners because oh my God, they're gonna need it. Nice.
At the bottom of the pile. Oh,
yeah, because they got Jordan Jenkins as their edge rusher.
But
Jordan Jenkins.
But hey, who's gonna play quarterback? Because if you have Tyrod Taylor, then the backup's playing. So we talking about Ryan Finley, formerly of the Bengals, and who's gonna run the rock? We're talking Mark Ingram II. Oh.
Yeah.
Behind what line? The same line that Deshaun was getting destroyed behind.
Is it Mark Ingram III in the league at this point? Jesus Christ, Mark Ingram II's been fucking playing football forever, man.
Yeah, he's in the league. He's on the tackle.
All right, so nice. The Jets, Sheldon Rankins. How you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a good pickup. Very good pickup because that 4-3 with Curry on one side, Quentin, Sheldon Rankins, and Carl Lawson. That front four is going to wreak havoc.
Well, see, this is a rarity in modern day NFL because not too many teams even run a 4-3 anymore. They typically run a 3-4 so they can have linebackers standing up and putting their hand in and out. So to run a committed 4-3 is kind of rare these days.
Plus, I think he's like Shaba's distant nephew, so you're gonna have like ill music for like you know what I mean?
Shaba. Shaba.
That that front line is going to be serious.
Fandom excited about something. So yeah.
Quentin gonna have a monster year.
Who?
Quentin Williams, he's gonna have a monster year.
Finally surrounded him with some people. Hell yeah.
Yeah, about time.
He should eat. He should definitely.
So this is hilarious because they're talking about how the Jets have spent $75 million in free agency, which is like a fucking lot of money, especially with the diminished cap. But then the Jets still just cannot eclipse the Patriots in any way whatsoever because the Patriots spent $163.5 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, nice.
Took like 10 people.
Yo, nice. The Patriots spent more money in free agency this season than the team was worth than when Robert Kraft bought them.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean they knew the hoodie's not really super great with the draft and he don't really like the draft too much. So they knew they had to go to work in the off season to just stockpile it. Let's just get it going now. This is our draft.
Yo, nice. You might be right. I think that's one of the reasons. And after watching the hoodie do this for 20 straight seasons, I think that's one of the reasons why the hoodie was always so active to trade back into the second, third, and fourth round because he sucks at top end talent evaluation.
He don't care. He just waits till you come in the league and show me something.
Right. He wants to see what you do in the league. He doesn't give a shit about college. If you do
about college.
Against my team, hell yeah, come over here.
Come over here. That's what he does.
You know what I'm saying?
Been doing it for years.
Well, you guys have to remember that run that the Patriots went on for about 4 years of drafting nothing but Rutgers players.
Right.
Yeah. Like it was weird. It was completely weird. Like,
we had
so much Rutgers players
because Belichick really likes Greg Schiano like a lot.
And he didn't really care. He don't really care about rookies too much. He just needs. He cares about winning right now. He wants players that's doing marvelous things in the NFL. He don't care about that.
Well, I mean, he's smart on that because how many players have we seen ball out in college and get to the league and it's just
get in the league and then stink it up.
And then
Kelly Smith.
And then you have to go with the opposite effect of it, the Terrell Davis effect. How many players didn't get utilized in college and then get to the league and just the league just fits them?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a backup. He was their backup at Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, you saw what Robert Edwards did. I mean, Robert Edwards wasn't even playing running back like that. Then all of a sudden, he was like a Pro Bowler. Unfortunately, then they were still doing beach volleyball. That was dumb.
It only took one blown ACL or one blown knee for that shit to end. I wonder how mad. I wonder how mad Nelly was that all those beach professional athlete games went via the dinosaur because Nelly was the MVP of every single celebrity sports game there was.
Sure was.
Look at me.
All right, so you guys should already know what that means if I'm rolling up. It's our first blunt intermission, so I'll see you guys in about 40 seconds. All right, let me re-up on the Zoom. I swear to God, I got to find a better app to do this with because Zoom kind of fucking sucks. I don't even like the video resolution of this shit. But it is what it is. So we will break down the rest of this free agent nonsense that's been going on because it has been a wild one. I love it though. This shit makes the NFL like I keep saying that God is playing Madden right now because that's exactly what is fucking going on. So there we go. As I roll the fuck up. The blunts are literally perfectly timed with the Zoom sessions. It's fucking hilarious. So Flea, the real question would be, do I roll my blunts so that they last exactly 40 minutes? That's the real fucking question. Yo, so the $1 million question is do I smoke so much weed that I actually roll blunts intentionally that last 40 minutes? I think yes.
I think when you do something so much, it just becomes second nature. Like when I record, when I know I'm about to record a chapter, I pretty much know to the minute when I'm going to be done.
Yeah.
Like that's what took me. I knew that I was going to run maybe a minute or two over, which I was going to get here like right at 8:03, which is exactly what happened. So you just do something so much, this is in you.
Yeah, I always try to tell everybody the reason that I got so quick at this shit is I'd be in the studio by myself, so it's not like I could be like, yo, person who's paying for my time, hold on while I roll this blunt. And I'd hit record and have to roll a blunt in one take. Which is typically about a minute, and depending on what the tempo of the song is, say a minute to about a minute and 20. Done and lit before they were even done. So that way they never knew that I was taking some personal time, because they are literally paying for my fucking time.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't disrespect them like that. So, Kyle Fuller going to the Broncos. Yeah.
Okay.
So they signed Justin Simmons and make him the highest paid safety in NFL history.
Yeah, they kept Justin Simmons, no doubt.
But Kerry and Roger, with all these the salary cap, what it is, a lot of 1-year deals. It's a lot of 1-year deals.
Told you they're gearing up for that TV money. That's why I love what the Giants did, 3-4 years. It could look like you're giving these players tons of money, but that TV money is about to hit. So we'll see what you are in 3-4 years. And you either walk, or when you get re-upped, it's not going to be as long of a contract anyway. So it's going to be a cheaper contract. And then, hopefully we're in a better position by that time. And, choosing in the later rounds anyway.
Yeah, what Mike Tomlin said when he was talking to Chase Young. He said, I hope that I never get an opportunity to draft somebody like you.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because he was just like, well, what do you mean? He's just like, well, that means that we had a very bad year, because you're always going to go 1 or 2. So I don't ever want to be in a spot to have to draft you.
Which is why when the G's were so close to being that terrible, just be that terrible. Like at that point, I get it. There's morality involved, and I get all that. But at this point, you looking to change your team. I mean, like Philadelphia did, they trust the process. And now if you look at the 76ers, they are always in the hunt. They are there. And their dude, Joel Embiid, is a stud and should be MVP of the league. He got hurt or whatever. But yeah, it changes your entire franchise for years to come, because you've made grave mistakes to get to where you are. So now you got to do something, to switch that shit around. So, kudos. I only see Washington getting better and better, and I won't be surprised if the Chocolate City Bigums are the class of the division for quite some time to come.
Yeah, their defense is incredible. And plus, Riverboat Ron, his team's always perform. The players always play for him. Man, this guy fucking beat cancer from the sidelines. Of course they're going to play for him.
And I tell you, and you know what I say, the play that always did it for me is when he went for 2 against the G's, when he could have tied it, sent to overtime, I said, no, he's going to go for 2. It doesn't matter if he doesn't make it. As a matter of fact, if he doesn't make it, that might strengthen him even more. Because now these players know that he got their back no matter what, and he believes in them, and they're going to run through brick walls.
All right, so that's the Les Miles effect. That was the same thing that the Mad Hatter was doing in LSU. We're going forward on 4th and fucking 37. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And they typically always got it. It was incredible.
Like that incredible play when they went up against Kentucky, and Devery Henderson caught that improbable nonsense, bobbled it, and then touchdown. Come on now. That's an inherent belief that no matter what, you've said, go for it. You're going to get it. You're going to get it. So when he saw the ball in there, he was like, oh, yeah, this victory. This game time is it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's awesome. So, under the radar signing, because I like this guy. And this is a big loss for the Cardinals. Dan Arnold signs with the Panthers. It's a big loss.
And I've told anyone who'd listen, I really like Dan Arnold. He's not huge splashy name. He just gets the job done. He gets the job done, and he blocks, and he's a big ass body.
Well, he typically always found a way to get open in the end zone. That's what I thought. I was just like, wow, he's smart. He knows how to fill the spots.
He's savvy. So who do you go to?
The Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's great. Because no matter what, even if it's not my boy Teddy B, they're gonna have a young quarterback there, and you're gonna need a dependable tight end. And since Greg Olsen, they haven't had that. So good. That's a good signing for them.
Well, speaking of the Eagles picked up Anthony Harris from the Vikings.
I did see that. Any addition really is kind of gonna help them out, to be honest with you. They are looking to draft a corner too, though. Trying to think who they had pairing up. I think it was the corner who he was the top-rated corner, but then he just recently had back surgery, which then boosted Patrick Surtain II to the top slot, which they say Dallas.
Well, we all know Patrick Surtain and his lineage that he comes from because his dad was a fucking monster.
And then when he did pro day, his measurables were ridiculous.
Well, I keep saying, where the fuck is Sam Madison Jr. at? If you got Patrick Surtain, where's Sammy Madison at?
Like, Patrick Surtain Jr. at corner, I think he threw up 225 like 18 times. He ran like a 4.3, jumped like a 39-inch bird. I mean, he's 6'3", 200 pounds. I mean, who's a willing tackler? Listen, he's going to be a problem.
So Roger Harper, your boy Justin Fields ran a 4.4.
Yeah, I heard that today. I seen him talking ESPN today. He had a pretty good day, he said.
Yeah, I mean a 4.4. That was surprising for me because he's actually more of a pocket passer than he is a mobile quarterback, and so I didn't know how fast he actually was. He's fast.
That was shocking.
Now I want to see the. I mean, I want to see the on-field speed though, because we all know game speed and 40 speed are a little bit different.
Yep.
Well, see, because you haven't watched him, you haven't seen him literally walk away from people, like break tackles from D linemen and then walk away from people. You haven't watched him. I've seen it happen. I've seen it. Not on scrub teams. Like, I've seen him do it. Also, Roger, you had there's this undersized linebacker you have. I can't remember his name, but every play he is flashing everywhere. Like his hand is always on the ball carrier. Undersized white dude. I can't not remember his name though, but he's looking like he's getting some looks. He's a smart player. He's quick, he's quick and he's decisive. A little undersized, but he's always in the right place.
That's Ohio State. My boy linebackers undersized with big hearts, you know what I'm saying? It's at it.
That's those Rust Belt guys, Roger Harper. That's those Ohio guys, man. It's linebacker you over there. I don't care. It's just linebackers, white dudes with really thick necks every year.
Especially when you have a daddy that was a pro wrestler, James Laurinaitis. I mean, yeah, they have all that going on. But yeah, I mean, I expect some D linemen, especially you had, if I'm not mistaken, one lineman got shot and then he came back the same season, right? Didn't it just happen recently? Like he got shot defending.
Oh, yeah. You said
and then he survived. He came back in the same season.
Yeah,
he came last season.
The first game was the national champion. The Final Four game was.
Yeah, that's right. So
y'all
got some tough ass. Y'all got some tough ass players out there. So yeah, I'm actually looking for some linemen, and I think y'all got a corner or a safety. Highly touted, not as highly touted as corners and safeties are usually from Ohio State, but still getting. I think he's a corner, as a matter of fact, but still get plenty of attention because
his stock went down. I forgot that kid's name too.
It did, right? Because I remember his stock
got exposed. He was talking crazy about in the Final Four game.
That's what it was.
Got worked over.
Wade.
Yes, because his stock was really high against that Penn State game, and he made some great plays. And his stock was high then, but then can't.
Should have known who you were playing, homie.
Listen, when you go up against SEC talent, that is the barometer of who you will be in the league.
Yeah.
That's what they look at. I don't care what these scouts and whatever these prognosticators say. They look at how you play against the SEC, if you play against them. They see how you do against SEC talent. Because that's the first thing out of their mouth. They're like, well, against SEC talent, look at what he did.
All right, so the Patriots side, someone else. Who the fuck is Raekwon McMillan? Jeez, how many players are the Pats signing?
Yeah.
Sounds like a TV detective.
Yeah. Detective McMillan, Raekwon. The chef. His nickname would be the chef on the show and all that shit.
Tagline, yeah, let me chef this shit up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about to chef this case up. He's just added into a linebacker room that's got like 45 fucking linebackers.
Yeah.
Somebody got to be good. Well, you know Hightower's going to get his spot back, guaranteed.
Well, they also signed Matthew Judon and Kyle Van Noy. Those
Right,
kids.
so
So Jawan Bentley out of Purdue, stud in the middle, just fills up the stat sheet with tackles. Not very athletic though. And then Chase Winovich, the Norse Viking from Michigan,
flowy blonde.
the flowy blonde, is a very, very active player.
Yeah.
Extremely high motor. First one in, last one out. Coach's son. One of those. All those non-measurables, but he's very active. And for a rookie, he had flashes last year. So the Patriots are just. See, the question is with the Patriots, can you get all of those new players on the same page in one season?
Well, also with the Patriots is you've had pretty much 19 years of not worrying about who your quarterback was going to be. So you weren't worried about that side of the ball. So all you had to do was focus on, okay, this will help our defense. I need this corner. I need this edge rusher. I need this safety. That's it. And our defense is set. Now you got to pay attention to both sides.
Yeah.
Like you haven't even had to pay attention to special teams. So, however long Matthew Slater's been on the team, you haven't even had to pay attention to that
At all.
So now you pay more attention to the offensive side of the ball. They did re-sign James White, which I was a little surprised. I was happy about it, but I was a little surprised.
I was too.
And but then you establish the other running back who looks to be the starter now.
Yeah.
And so now you got to see what Cam is going to give you. And now year 2, but like year 1.5, year 1 3/4 in this offense. And then what these new receiver, what the receiver room is going to look like, but you're going to definitely be relying on those tight ends initially.
Yeah.
Well, there's an under the radar signing for the Patriots that amongst the flurry of free agency that they have been able to grab, they also grabbed the other Pro Bowl special teams player from last year is now on their team. So now you have Matthew Slater and that guy. So very smart on there. They're just building everywhere except the quarterback. They're just going to run with Cam this year and see what they got.
Smart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the hoodie typically he focuses on special teams more than any other coach, outside of maybe John Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's where he came up.
Same thing with Harbaugh. He's a special teams coach first, so you see where they build that at. But the hoodie understands that the third aspect of football is extremely important to where some coaches kind of, just like, whatever, it's special teams. We'll
As we've definitely seen, because we saw how horrible kickers were this past season. I mean, terrible. And you wondered why they got kept around. There's a million kickers out there. Honestly, there are millions of kickers who all need jobs. So I don't just blind loyalty to these kickers change the fate of some teams. I'm looking at Tennessee in particular.
All right, so Juju decided to take less money and stick with Pittsburgh for a season, which we talked about. It makes sense because he already knows the team, he knows the offense, he already has a rapport with the receivers and Big Ben, and it's a 1-year deal. So he's going to end up moving next year. It makes sense. But it's funny because the Ravens were gunning hard to sign Juju.
Yeah, but if he signed this year, they could have hit him with less dough. He's done a 1-year prove it deal to show that last year was an aberration. They worked in some new guys. Ben is coming off his own thing. Look at what I'll do. I guarantee you this year he's going to dance way less, and it's going to be all about his football. and he's going to try to get these numbers back up. I guarantee you.
Well, it's funny. They gave him a description. They said he's an upgraded Hines Ward because of how good he can block on the outside, because he is a very effective blocker. So you would have to look at teams in the future that would definitely utilize.
And that's why the Ravens wanted him, because they really were gunning for a receiver who could block.
You know where he should end up going, Kerry? The Titans.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
Because he could be the number 2 to A.J. Brown. He can just, and they both are monsters who block. That would be perfect.
that would be.
That'd be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Instead, the Ravens got Sammy Watkins. Everybody.
Sammy Watkins out of Jackson Heights, Queens.
Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate.
They did, which, I guess for Sammy, when you came into the league, you were the Ferrari.
Yeah.
And you went to a team of Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, my shit is way downgraded. And so, at this point, he is still the class of that receiving room.
Yeah, but
Regardless of all of his injuries and everything else.
I don't think that's a very good fit, though.
It doesn't
I don't think it is.
make sense, really, because this guy's he's a receiver.
Yeah.
At best, what he'll give you is possession receiver, but to ask him to go block play after play,
Yeah. And they trying to get Antonio Brown too. That's who they trying to get next.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if he. I don't think he's actually going to end up signing in Tampa, because Tampa, and me and Roger texted about this. This is the first time since the Cowboys did it way back in the mid '90s that the entire fucking roster from a Super Bowl team is coming back,
right?
Yeah.
Like I said, they normally get rated. That's amazing,
including the coaching staff, which is unheard of.
amazing.
Yeah.
I would say AB going to Baltimore does have legs. He's worked out with he's worked out with him before.
Well,
Yeah.
his
And they're both from Florida, the Florida boys, and he knows he knows Lamar's cousin, and then
well
so
his
they're-
his cousin is on the team.
right. Like, there's familial ties, and then they just know each other. They've worked out together before. It could make sense, and then you still have. I mean, Ray Lewis is still kind of like an ancillary part of the team. So, if someone has to get on the phone, ownership or the coach, they're not going to worry about it. They're going to call Ray to have Ray talk to AB because, yeah. So it could work.
Yeah, but I think AB gets frustrated not getting the ball and whatnot.
Yeah. That's gonna be Baltimore right now is a bad fit for receivers. Period, because they're just a running team.
Yeah.
That's what they really do. Like Lamar runs all the time. It's a track meet, so it's really tough for receivers to go over there. That's why a lot of receivers don't go over there.
To play devil's advocate, if he did have a top end receiver, would they throw more?
No,
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't see it happening.
no.
I just don't see it happening.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
When all you present to me is Willie Snead and unproven Hollywood Brown, I don't even know the other receiver's name. But you have a tight end. He threw to the tight end. Hayden Hurst got the rock. He got the rock. He got the rock so much, he got a contract to go someplace else.
Well, okay, so let me play devil's advocate to your devil's advocate there, Kerry. Devil's advocate squared. Typically, quarterbacks who are struggling to get the ball down the field do work the tight end.
Of
Yeah.
course. And of course I know this. But they also have had patterns where the tight end has gone deep. And he's actually shown that he can throw the deep seam to the tight end.
Well, we
And
know
the-
he can throw the deep ball. It's just, can he
No.
read defenses? That's the big issue.
Yeah.
Can you read an
Yeah.
NFL defense?
If you
So
look,
all I'm saying is get him a receiver, preferably a taller one, especially with quarterbacks with accuracy issues. Get them a tall damn receiver. I don't know why you don't know this. This is 101. Get him a tall receiver. Get him someone who can go get that, which is why I thought they should have really went harder at Galladay. I thought we were going to actually lose out to them for Galladay.
I think they should have went after Julio. Fuck that shit.
yeah.
Yes, or Julio. Somebody.
But like I said, if you watch the tape of Lamar, he really, the minute he drops back, he starts panicking and he runs every time. Like once the pressure is coming, he's not standing in the pocket for nothing. He's running. You know,
Well,
like,
I wouldn't actually call it panic. I would call his innate instincts. Like his eyes go left.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
I don't
He
see
just,
it. I'll go for
he
mine.
just run.
Well, if you watch his drop back motion, three step drops, you don't really get to see it because 1, 2, 3 throw. But 5 to 7, and in the NFL 9 step drops. The second his right foot hits, he's already leaning forward.
He's already leaning forward.
Pressing
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
Yeah, he's pressing forward. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going to have to really, really, really work with him to
Yeah.
utilize his arm talent because he does got a big arm.
Yeah, he does.
But also, you got to realize he's also working with young receivers. So I don't care how much speed they have; they're still young receivers, and they were not ever known for their great route running. They were known for their speed and what they could do after the catch. So I mean, and they're not the tallest guys. So
All right, so if you're going to say that, then I can see how AB would work because AB is one of the best route runners in the history of football, and he is going to get separation.
That's all I'm saying. Just give him an opportunity. Give him one stud, right? A proven one. And not one, well, not like Jazz, who's been out of football for X amount of time. Give him AB, who now is back in, and AB's a workout warrior. No matter what you want to say about him, that dude works out all the time.
All the time.
And he's ready. So get him AB, and then let's see. And then after that, then no excuses. But let me see him when he has AB.
This is true, but I still don't trust it.
Yeah.
I've seen tape on him for the last couple years.
Yeah, I don't.
And also, Greg Roman
Greg
has to help him out more with the play.
Yeah, they gotta really work him, man. They gotta really sit there and really work him, like really work him on the mechanics and things, man.
Well, you guys also know my football fandom. If you don't have a real NFL caliber quarterback, I think you fucking suck. So I'm a little bit biased against Lamar. You know, he's not Justin Herbert. You know, he's not 6'5" and can dissect defenses and things of this nature. And with it can make NFL throws. Not that throwing motion is still kind of weird. It's like he's holding the ball flat and he just kind of like floats it, but he can get it down the field.
I'll give you this, Joe, and I'll play a little devil's advocate on you. Dissecting defenses is important, no doubt. We've seen the greatest technicians, and obviously you're a fan of the greatest technician to do it. But when you have somebody like Patrick Mahomes, who's like, yeah, I didn't even know how to read defense until like just last year.
Well, I mean, come on, dude. That guy's arm is already in the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying, like, there's a portion of dissecting, and then there's a portion of, you know what? I think that guy's open. I'm gonna throw it to him. You know what I'm saying? There's that confidence, and I think that's the thing.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right.
He's confidence on throwing because he doesn't quite trust the receivers, and he trusts himself more, which is why he'll go for his.
Well, I mean, you can do all that, but this is the goddamn NFL, man. You better trust those other 10 guys.
Yeah, I mean, and you've been in the NFL for enough years now. It's like you got to do it.
Well, look, Michael Jordan didn't start winning chips until A, he got Scottie Pippen, and B, until he started trusting his teammates more. So it's just a process. When you've always been the man, and they've always looked to you to do it all, when you have to start relinquishing some of that and trust other players, it could be tough. And you know, football is the ultimate team sport, so he has to go into it, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Well, and he also went to Louisville, where he was the only guy there.
He was.
Yeah.
That was it. Do you remember that epic showdown with him and Deshaun Watson when Deshaun was at Clemson?
Yeah.
They went back and forth, homie, and like easily Louisville could have won that game, and it would have been all because of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can do that in college.
Yeah.
You can do that in college, but when the other 11 guys that you're playing against, like even their D tackles running a 4.9 at like 350 pounds, it's a little bit tougher. But I mean, dude, he can get busy. He's extremely athletic.
I mean, he in his collegiate career, he went against University of Houston Cougars. You know what I'm saying? And then like he caught that L. But that's just what happens. We had a special player on defense, Eddie Oliver, plays for the Bills right now. Yeah. One of those guys, defensive tackle, who can run like a 4.6 on my. So, like, yeah, different.
Yeah, it is different. I mean, you used to think the same thing about Michael Vick, too, when he came into the league. It was just like, all right, we see what you're doing in Virginia Tech. Can you do this in the NFL? Well, when you're that goddamn fast, yes, you can do that in the NFL.
Yep.
And then you have a fucking cannon for an arm.
Yep.
See, this is the whole Zach Wilson thing. When you see a quarterback that only has to flick it and it just takes off, you
Yeah.
know, like, all right, they got it. They got that
it.
part.
Yeah. Because
I actually
my God.
watched Zach play a couple games because he did play against my squad, U of H, and we were actually winning the game. Then it hit like the third, fourth quarter. We did ourselves no favor with defensive penalties. And then there was this other receiver who he basically grew up with. They played football, baseball, basketball together, and so they have a kinetic, they have a telekinetic link.
Oh, they go to Mormon church together, probably, all that shit.
All that, they talk about fantasies. Anyway, so so in the third, fourth quarter, they just connected time and time again. It was unstoppable. You knew where the rock was going. Everybody knew it. You don't even have to know football to know on third down how much to go. Yeah, we're gonna go to that kid, no matter what. And he always got open, and Zach always had the ball there right on time. And even if he didn't have a throwing lane, he got by with his scoots, his agility in the pocket, and he could run. Like he's
Yeah.
All right, so nice. Let me ask you something about Zach Wilson now that we're talking about this kid again. Does he have the ability? Do you think that he'll be able to handle going from Mormon land to New York City?
Yeah, I think he will. He has the confidence. His confidence is through the roof, and his skill set. I mean, we see what his skill set is about. So all he really needs right now is just really good coaching, and some. He got a couple of solid pieces around him. Need a little bit more, but yeah, he's gonna do well because his confidence is. He's one cocky motherfucker.
All right, so what do you guys do with Sam I Am then?
oh yeah.
Sam, what I would do, I would keep Sam. I'll make Sam the backup.
That won't happen.
Yeah,
They'll go get a veteran backup.
Yeah. I know it won't happen, but
Especially if you got it's nice. You got to look at a couple teams who typically might be like 15, 16, 17 in the draft who know there's no shot at them at getting one of those quarterbacks. Trading with you guys to get Sam Darnold because that's typically a first-round draft pick at quarterback.
You should be talking to Chicago immediately.
Yeah, but they're saying right now, a lot of GMs right now are saying Sam is worth like a third-round pick, possibly a fourth. So he dropped really bad right now. Like the market for Sam Darnold.
Jesus Christ, Bill Belichick stole that kid's career. Oh my God, gee, I'm seeing Ghost out there. What?
Him and Adam Gates. Him and Adam Gates, man. Adam Gates destroyed that kid, man. Because the kid has talent. It's just he wasn't coached well, and you know what happens when you're not coached well. It was like he was still playing college football.
I mean, if I'm Denver, I mean, he played on the West Coast. If I'm Denver, I'm like, hey, what's up, Sam?
Denver,
they got
Carolina,
the receivers over there. They got the running back over there. They're gonna get Von Miller back. Like, if I'm a quarterback and I'm looking at that quarterback room, I'm thinking, hell yeah, I can rock with this team. Hell yeah.
Nice. That's an interesting call there, Washington. What's an interesting fit?
Washington?
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's interesting. I will say this about Kyle Wilson. Now, he's Mormon, so I think in the Mormon faith, don't quote me on this, they have something called like the rum shaker, where you can like leave for a little bit, or no, that might be Quakers. I don't know. Where you could just like explore what life is like.
No, that's Quakers. That's Quakers.
That's Quakers, right? Yeah. Oh, they got the rum shaker? Okay. So then, yeah. Oh, well, I will say this then. Steve Young and Jim McMahon went to BYU, and they're both Super Bowl champs. So you'll figure it out. Jim McMahon played in Chicago, and Steve Young played in Tampa Bay and San Francisco.
Speaking of the Quakers, I got a hilarious story. So growing up outside of Pittsburgh, we always used to go to Kennywood, which is an amusement park right outside of the city, right?
Oh, I know Kennywood.
Yeah,
I know it.
You know Kennywood. All right, so you would always see fucking Quakers there.
Mhm.
Like in their fucking their pilgrim hats, full outfits. It's 900 degrees in that goddamn park, and the girls got those full length dresses on and shit. And you see them sitting there just riding the roller coasters, and I'd be like, I thought these people weren't allowed to enjoy technology. I thought they were fucking not Quakers, but the Amish.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get a little slice to see if you want that life.
See, Roger Harper, I know being in Ohio, I know you know about the fucking the Quakers and the Amish and whatnot.
Up north, up near Lake Erie and shit, go fishing. Them motherfuckers got them buggies and them horses and shit.
Yeah. So you want to see if you want to get turned out by modern life, well, you want to go back to building barns. Which, hey, churn me some butter. That butter's good. I'll take it.
I'll take it, but that Amish mafia is for real, son.
Oh yeah, they don't play.
They don't play, and do not talk to their women. Jesus Christ.
They will disappear you. They will disappear you in some interesting looking furniture in a second.
Yo, like, I wouldn't even talk to them, and I'm white. So, like, yeah, you can stay away from those girls.
Yeah, they spoke before. Don't even.
100%. Yo, it's like when I went to Hawaii. Yo, you're not allowed to talk to the native girls out there.
We had this conversation.
It was really wild. I was like, man, they're so bad too, and they were everywhere. And just like, nope, they will totally ignore you, especially me, the white guy from the landlocked states. I don't care how much weed you blow in their direction. Nope, they're ignoring you. Me and my homie was on the beach, literally sending smoke signals to these two. It was like, whoo, just puffs of weed.
Listen, bro. You have to be an active member of the community serving the society. All right? You have to be. And even then, you still a Howley, brother.
Yep.
That's it.
I mean, it is what it is.
But at least if you're contributing, they'll have a conversation with you.
Yeah, that's about it, though. They'll have a conversation. You might be able to take them out with nobody knows. But don't let their older brother find out.
But don't fret. There is a strong white homeless community on the beach. Because if you're going to be homeless, you better put it to Hawaii.
I mean, there's also a strong meth problem in Hawaii, so I think that homeless white population that's living on the beach and the meth epidemic that's going out there, I think those two things go hand in hand, people. Let's be realistic about ourselves here.
But if the dude who starred in a Marvel franchise used to live on a beach in Hawaii and he could make it, anybody could do it. Just figure it out.
I mean, you do have to be careful though, because the dog will get you out there. Listen, brother.
Oh, you know what? Will he though?
Nah, not anymore.
Not
anymore.
I am the dog.
I am the dog. Oh my God, this is the worst show in America.
What? Speaking of the worst show in America, the Eagles. Woo!
All right, so let me just close this one down so we don't even have to, before we jump into the Eagles, I'm just going to shut it down and restart it and see if we can fix this dumpster fire. Actually, it's not a dumpster fire. They make a bunch of moves.
We gotta drop down and get the eagle on, girl.
So the biggest question that we have when we return is Jalen Hurts the answer? And we'll answer that in about 40 seconds. Kerry said drop down and get your eagle on. Jesus Christ. We're all going to hell. Oh, speaking of who's going to hell, what do you guys think about those Satan shoes? That's the first question I'm going to ask everybody. It's not even going to be football related. Literally the first question I'm going to ask the round table. Oh yeah, yo Aiden, we're about to break down the Eagles. We're about to see if we can fix their particular situation. Yo, Benjamin is crazy because he even said, yeah, fuck it, I'm a pod. I'm a pawn in this game. I don't care. Crazy. It's absolutely insane. And acknowledging that your fan base is typically 10 to 15-year-olds, and this is the type of shit you do. There ain't no fixing the Eagles. That's hilarious. So the first question I'm asking everybody as they pop in is, what? Oh, I'll wait till we got we got a rapper coming in. Let's ask the rapper.
Listen, I got bars, son. Don't ever sleep on these bars.
Now, see, I'd like it. Everybody popped in so I can ask everybody the question at the same time.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, before we break down the Eagles, what the fuck y'all think about the Lil Nas X getting fucked by Satan in the video and coming out with shoes that got blood in them?
Oh yeah, she's insane. It's completely insane. It's ridiculous. And yeah, he's one. His parents need to beat the shit out of him. Something.
Yo, how you gonna put out some shoes that got human blood in the soles?
Human and blood in the soul. This really is disturbing, man.
Yo, that shit caused such a backlash that Nike had to sue that company.
Yeah.
That's not a lunchroom I've ever eaten in, so I don't know. I have no.
So, I love to play devil's advocate. That company, Mischief, also put out another version of the exact same shoe, but it was all white, and they filled it with holy water.
Ah, man.
So they had like the opposite side of it, but clearly they're into like just pushing the goddamn envelope. But yo, that video, son, Jesus H Christ. Like I didn't even watch it. I just saw a screenshot, and homie is getting ass fucked by Satan. He got heels on and they're up in the air and everything. Like, what the fuck is really going on out here?
Yeah, man, it's weird, man. It's weird shit going on. And I don't know what's wrong with that kid, man.
Nice, rappers used to hide their ties to Satan.
Yeah.
You just didn't know about it. You'd see like a handshake or a ring or like a T-shirt or something, and you'd have to know what you were looking at. There ain't no hiding the shit no more. So anyway, fuck all that shit. We'll go from Satan fucking Lil Nas X in the ass to the Eagles getting fucked in the ass by the rest of the NFL.
And now I'm back.
and now Kerry is engaged.
The Eagles is, I don't know what's going on.
All right, so Roger Harper, I'll start with you. What do the Eagles need to do?
Well, with Jalen Hurts, they need to see what he's going to do this offseason. He need to work hard and figure out how they can build a team around him. I mean, he was the brightest part of their season towards the end of the season. So, they need to see what he's going to do, and they go from there.
All right, so Kerry, let me ask you this. That I've been waiting to ask you this question. How the fuck is Lincoln Riley not in the NFL? Because look what he did. Look what he did with Baker Mayfield. He's
probably going to have a Heisman Trophy sitting in his den. He turned Jalen Hurts. He took Jalen Hurts, a product that we said he may have to switch to like running back, maybe slot receiver, something like that. And then you start looking at him and viewing him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
I said, oh shit. I'll be honest, and I like Jalen Hurts. He represents H-Town and all that. But I was like, he's a power lifter. He's a strong runner. But clearly he got dominated by that Georgia defense. And it wasn't until Tua came in that Georgia lost the national chip. And I was like, ooh, that's a bad look for him.
Yeah, but then he goes to Oklahoma and almost wins the Heisman.
Because now you just look like an athlete playing quarterback. But then he went to Oklahoma. And then I said, oh, that's a quarterback right there. Oh, okay.
So we see what Lincoln Riley did with Baker Mayfield. And then he did the exact same thing with Kyler Murray. And then he turned Jalen Hurts into an NFL quarterback. How the fuck is this guy still in college?
He chooses to.
He chooses to, exactly, because he chooses to. Because other than that, he would get that Cliff Kingsbury deal twofold, easily.
Yeah, no, he's after what he did with Jalen Hurts, I am absolutely impressed with his ability to mold a quarterback.
Yeah.
No questions.
No question
questions.
about that.
All right, so Kerry, since you're an Eagles hater, be objective here, and what do you think the Eagles need to do?
Easily. Disband, go home, and fun. We'll talk about you in history, but job done, everyone. Go home. No, all right. Football. All right. So, people question Jalen Reagor, as they should, because you had some other talent right there for the snatching.
Yes.
I will say this, though. When Jalen Reagor did get in, you saw some flashes of what he could be. And I'm actually really glad that they brought back my alumni coug, Greg Ward, who, as they were talking shit about the receiver group, they just got these guys off the street. Greg Ward was consistently getting busy for them.
Greg Ward is the most undervalued wide receiver in the NFL right now.
So I was like, y'all need to stop talking shit about Greg Ward. That kid is nasty.
He can play.
So they brought him back, yeah. Now we have to really see, again, if this shit is coming down to the Bengals. Well, it's going to start with the Jets. Jets have a pivotal move. Cincinnati has the pivotal move. And that's going to set up what the Eagles actually do. If they're able to get their hands on Kyle Pitts, I think they absolutely do it, beyond question.
Yeah.
What they also have to look at, though, is offensive line. Peters is not getting any younger. And, they had some serious deficiencies there. Yes, Jalen can run around and do his thing, but you want to keep that pocket as clean as possible. And their running backs, Sanders and the other little short dude,
Boston
Scott kept getting banged up time and time again. And there were times that they just got caught. They're explosive and they can make big plays, but just when you need that 3 yards in a cloud of dust, you don't have the offensive line that can do that right now.
Well, speaking of that, Jason Peters is no longer on their roster, so
he's gone, right? So yeah, I know Kyle Pitts is flashy, and you really want him, but as for a young quarterback, guys, protect your most valued commodity. You gotta protect these guys. If they went out and they got Penny Sewell from Oregon,
yeah,
Giants fan, I'd be shook. I'd be like, damn, we're not gonna get no pressure on that side of the line for the next 10 years. Like nothing. It's like when you can get a tackle, a blocker like that, it demoralizes another team, because they just know you're not gonna get no action on that side, homie. You're gonna have to try to create something else to get these young quarterbacks flustered. So if they want to do themselves any favors, they would go that route. But most teams and most GMs and owners, they want that shiny diamond, and Pitts is that.
Yeah.
No knock on him, but
Pitts is a matchup nightmare.
That guy.
A matchup
it would
nightmare.
be very hard. It would be too, as I say, temptatious for them to pass up on that.
Well, I mean, they do have a stud at tight end already, though. Dallas Goedert was getting busy last year.
He was.
Yeah.
He made Zach Ertz completely expendable.
He did, but then Philly was trying to kind of go that Patriots way too with the 2 tight end situation. So it's still not out of the realm of reason.
Well, you're going to go with the 2 tight end situation when you have a really underwhelming wide receiver room. So you're looking at Jalen Reagor, who showed flashes, but that him stepping out of the lineup throughout the season allowed Travis Fulgham to step in and get busy.
Yeah, big receiver, yeah. He definitely got his shot.
So then the other question is their other high draft carry.
Yeah.
Their other high draft is JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and what is he going to fucking do?
Right. Well, I would say near the end of the season, he started to pick it up a bit. It took him some time.
Yeah.
I absolutely get, especially when you're a defensive unit that has to keep trotting back out there because your offense can't maintain a drive, which happened often, or your offense is throwing interceptions or fumbling the rock. So you keep having to trotting back out there. So it's hard to just really get into a good rhythm.
Well, it's funny, Roger. So you see the emergence of Whiteside at the end of the year, and then Fulgham towards the end of the year, and then even Rager's showing flashes, and that all coincided with Carson Wentz sitting the fuck down and Jalen Hurts getting in the game. So it's going to be really interesting to see with a full season and knowing that Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback, he's the focus of the offense, what these wide receivers can actually do with a full season, because Carson Wentz was terrible last year. Just absolute dumpster fire trash. So what can you expect out of your receivers and tight ends when the quarterback is playing that terrible, realistically?
Yeah, he made it hard to say that Danny Dum Dum was the worst in that league, or even in the division, because his turnover rate was even higher, which I did not think was possible. But yes, it was.
Yeah,
and that, most importantly, that team was energized.
Yes.
The moment Jalen stepped in, it was a different atmosphere. When he came off the field, everybody was slapping him on the ass, high-fiving him. It was the whole energy of the entire team changed.
Well, you could tell, Roger. You could see it. And I'm sure you've been part of teams where like there might be a team leader that nobody fucking likes, but he's still like a captain or whatnot. And you could tell that whole team did not like Carson Wentz at all.
Yeah, they didn't. They did not.
The whole situation. The reason why they were in games at the end of the season with Jalen in was simply because they fucked with Jalen more. They actually liked him. So you saw the effort was different. It was noticeably different, which you have to say is fucked up, because you're a professional. You would expect them to give effort all the time, but we're also human. And if we don't fucking fuck with this guy, it's going to be harder, because you're going to start thinking about my own contract. And listen, I ain't gonna get hurt over this cat. I don't even rock with him. But now you see this other dude come in. You like, you know what? Yeah, like we in meetings together in practice. We cut like, I'm gonna make sure I get, whenever he throws me the rock, I'm going 150 miles an hour. Hell yeah.
So I look at it like the Cowboys scenario. Last season, if Carson Wentz would have been face down in the middle of the field, I don't think any of his teammates would have helped him up. If somebody would have hit Jalen Hurts like that, it would have been a fight.
It would have been a fight.
Like when homie hit Josh Allen and the Bills linemen all jumped in.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that. It would have been that exact same thing.
Which is hilarious, because Josh Allen's about 6'8", like 270. He don't need nobody to jump in, dude. That guy's fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
He's a giant himself. But you're not gonna touch him. You're not gonna touch him.
It's a matter of principle. That's what I thought about that Cowboys incident. So every single team I've ever been on, somebody touches the quarterback, it's on. You don't fucking touch our quarterback, it's on. Mm-hmm. And we're seeing now some of these guys are like, yo, Roger, it's like when the offensive linemen get pissed off at the quarterback and they just rodeo, let him through. Olay, hey, get him. Mm-hmm. Or they sit there and they tell the D lineman what the snap count is. Like, yo, fuck this motherfucker. Yeah. We going on too, homie.
Listen, there's always lessons. You can teach lessons. Like, you don't have to directly get it. You can teach lessons throughout the game. You can get revenge throughout the game. If you're smart. If you lead with emotion, though, you're going to get penalized and all that. If you're smart, you'll get your comeuppance. Like, don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm the type of teammate, I don't give a fuck. Quarterback, backup punter, whatever. Somebody on the opposite team fires off on somebody that's wearing our uniform, it's on.
Is it?
I might not like that guy, but we'll deal with that in the locker room later. On the field, it's on.
That's it. You put that jersey on, it's a brotherhood. Point blank, period. We have nothing else to discuss.
I mean, I know that it's stupid whenever people kind of try to assimilate football with war. But it's just like, yo, if you're in the trenches with somebody and like one of your homies is getting shot at or something, you're not just gonna sit there and be like, nah, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
And also, let me tell you this: like when you play in like semi-pro and you go on the road to other people's towns, let me tell you something. If the town supports that team, they got some things in their trunk. And I've been in a situation or two where I'm very thankful for teammates who also had some things in their trunks. So yeah, I've had to dip out of a town or two in my time. I'll say.
Let this be a life lesson to anybody who watches this show, including all you NFL GMs who don't give us credit. if somebody says to you, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be right back," you leave too. Whenever they leave, you leave, because whenever they come back, they're coming back with someone or something.
Especially like when you're in a town when you know that's the only thing they got going on, and it's a Friday or a Saturday, or like a Saturday. Yeah.
Well, especially in semi-pro towns, Kerry, because you're looking at like right after the game, some of these guys might be spotlight shooting some deer at like 2 a.m. and shit, you know.
We're talking Texas. We're talking, to be clear, we're talking Texas, where you come out the womb with a gap. So let's just be clear on this one.
God bless Texas.
Listen, every day, twice on Sunday.
All right, so back to the Eagles. That was a fun tangent. So I'm looking at, they definitely have to go offensive line, because they're another team where one guy is the backup across the entire offensive line, essentially. So it's just like they need offensive line depth. Now, I will say this: they do have Jason Kelsey is coming back at center,
Big,
huge, and Lane Johnson at tackle. That's a high draft pick. So, and then
he's getting up there.
their left guard, Isaac Semelo, he can play. Mm-hmm. Even though I can't pronounce his name, I'm too Caucasian to pronounce a name like that. He can play. So they do have 3 spots. They just don't have any depth at all. And then, we just talked about their wide receiver room. A lot of young talent. So it's looking like a mirror image of Jacksonville's wide receiver room from last season. A lot of young talent that has to prove themselves. And we saw what Jacksonville's receivers did whenever they... Because Uncle Rico will fire that thing. So
certainly can.
Yeah.
So their running back room, not the worst in the NFL. Miles Sanders got busy last year.
Yeah, when he was healthy.
And then their backup, little tiny Boston Scott, ran really hard.
He's a problem. He was reminiscent, not all the way. He was like a stouter Darren Sproles.
He reminded me of Dave Meggett.
Yeah, he was like catching everything and just like scoots, big plays all over the place.
And his name is Boston, for Christ's sakes.
Pretty baller name.
No, that's awesome. What a name.
But that defense, which Philly had hung its hat on its defense for years, and we can name the defensive players who have like really made that town a defensive town, starting with Brian Dawkins and all these
Wolverine.
Players. Exactly. Even Fletcher Cox, who's still on the team, Big Fletch, but
Brandon Graham.
Right, but they're older now, and right now I'm not getting a sense of that clear-cut second wave of defenders that are just waiting in the wings, frothing at the mouth. I don't see them yet.
Well, I'm looking at all their backups on defense, and I don't know any of these motherfuckers. So.
Right. And last year, Philly got exposed. Your defense will truly get exposed when your offense can't sustain drives or they turn it all over. And then as a result.
Well, they did pick up Anthony Harris at safety. We know this. That's a big pickup for them. That helps. Yeah. But Darius Slay as a number 1 corner was getting absolutely chewed up by true number 1 receivers.
Wow. Yeah. They had no pressure on the QB, barely pressure on the QB. They got some pressure, but barely. They had no playmakers at linebacker, and he had nobody on the other side of the ball that people were afraid of, or even safeties that they felt that could like come down, break up a pass play, or maybe even cause a turnover. So they were just like, why not? Why not go at Darius?
Well, they got a really, really, really weak linebacking core. So, I mean, the Eagles got this typically happens whenever you're drafting this high up in the draft. You got a lot of holes to fill, but, dude, we're all NFL, like, absolute and total psychos in this room right now. Dude, I don't even know half of these fucking people on their defense. That's not a good thing, man.
So it begs to question this, right? Since they have all the draft capital, mainly the major draft capital, next year's draft. Do they save and try to build through the draft next year? Or do they try to use that draft? I think using that draft capital now would be a head scratcher to try to get a quarterback to come into this particular situation.
I
'Cause
wouldn't.
I don't know who you are.
I'd gun for next year because that draft capital next year is serious.
That's what I'm saying.
Serious.
Right.
You're looking
I
at
would say be patient, stay the course, get a lineman, get some linemen, build your line. Do the best to build your offensive and defensive line, and then next year get splashing.
yeah. I mean, let's look at their starting corners. Besides, all right, you got Darius Slay, who is supposed to be a number one corner, got exposed last year. And look at their other corner. Who the fuck is Avonte Maddox?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, see, look at all three of you are shaking your head right now. Like, that's not a good thing when you're a starting corner. None of us have ever heard of them.
Yeah, that's really bad.
All right, so the safeties, we know Rodney McLeod and we know Anthony Harris. All right, so but you're looking at I'm looking at depth, and they don't even have any fucking depth. I'm telling you, this linebacking core is so weak, dude. Alex Singleton, T.J. Edwards, and Sean Bradley are their starters. Who, and who?
DJ Edwards had a player too.
I mean, you have to if you're out on the field for a season.
Yeah.
Like someone who could potentially, we may hear his name said a little bit more this upcoming season. But yes, I know they don't.
So they did sign Hassan Ridgeway, so that adds a little bit of depth to their D line, and he's going to be behind. That helps with Fletcher Cox.
Yeah.
And so you got Fletcher Cox, Ridgeway, and Brandon Graham, and then Derek Barnett. So their front four is pretty solid.
Yeah,
Barnett's still fairly young. Barnett is still he would have to be for them the Justin Tuck that was to our G's when Michael Strahan left, because Fletcher Cox, he's on the tail end. So it would have to then be him to take over that spot. But yeah, they're either too old or too young at the majority of their defensive positions. And we know Philly has now had this reputation of being where corners go to die.
Yeah.
What happened to Nnamdi Asomugha? I mean, like, this guy was an all-pro corner, and then
Oh yeah. Oh man.
you know what I'm saying?
That was
So,
terrible.
I mean, all right. So let's be realistic here, though. That was an All-Pro cover, not a cover corner. This is a zone corner. Peek into the backfield, jump routes, make plays. And when they moved him to Philly and he was forced to play man, he got exposed as his inability to come up and press.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he couldn't play. They should have just moved him to fucking safety.
they should have.
Yeah.
They should have.
Yeah, but then he went and got married, and now he's he's an actor and all that stuff. And yeah, he's living the good life now. So I don't think he gives a fuck about football.
Yeah.
All right, so
Wake up with good, fresh knees every day.
um,
That ain't sore. What? Give me that line.
so clearly they are all in on Jalen Hurts because they just signed Joe Flacco as a backup.
Yeah.
As they need to be. They need to be all in on Jalen. Listen, you drafted him in the second round while you had Wentz on your team, who was just a season before that an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
So, these things are not by accident.
Well, okay, so you know what that reminds me of?
There's something there with Wentz before all of it.
You know what that reminds me of, though? It reminds me of when the Chocolate City Bigums took RG Triple Sticks and then
And
took Captain Kirk in the same draft.
In the same draft.
And everybody was just like, yo, what are they doing?
Was removed because Wentz had been there now, like it was his second year, and he was coming off like some MVP shit. So it was so early in Wentz's career. It was a sign that Philly didn't have full trust, either that he could stay healthy, and or with the combination of people just not liking him because they kind of felt like he was a douchebag.
Well, he is a douchebag. Look at it. You can see it. He's got a very punchable face. So he makes you want to slap the shit out of him. But there's also, the rumors. It's not even rumors. The stories and the facts that Carson Wentz was just calling his own plays in the fucking huddle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He just does what he want to do.
Yeah, he was definitely Steaming Willie Beam in that thing in there.
Yeah.
Hell had to punch him in the face. He's calling his own plays, not the plays you call that I like.
I need my bonus.
So So yeah, he was definitely doing that shit. And instead of having a hoo-ah, he got a aloha. Bye-bye. But I think the situation actually is going to work out better for him in Indianapolis. Matter of fact, if it doesn't work out in Indianapolis,
He's done.
He's finished.
He's done. So now that I got Any Given Sunday in my brain, and we have our resident NFL athlete from the '90s when things were a bit different back then. So Roger Harper, the party scenes. The doing coke off strippers' titties and asses right before the games and shit, and cutting the Yukon and
SUVs in half.
cutting SUVs in half with a chainsaw. Shit like that really went down in the '90s, didn't it?
It was crazy. Straight up, I ain't gonna tell the story. Talking about the Eagles. Listen, the men's the football team locker room. There was a door. Cats you could look up under and watch the cheerleaders changing clothes, shower, all the whole shit, man.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ, the '90s were different. Woo.
Yep.
That only happens in Washington lately.
Okay.
And how is he still the owner?
Chocolate City.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that real quick. Not only is he the owner, the NFL just okayed him buying out the other minority owners, so he will be the sole owner of the Chocolate City Bigums. Carry $870 million price tag to buy them out.
Yeah.
And they approved it. So it's not like they're trying to get rid of him. The other owners were trying to get rid of him, so he's just buying them out. Dan Snyder's not going nowhere.
Oh, so the only thing that was giving him pressure is that he was losing these sponsorships. Like FedEx was like, nah, peace. And so he had the pressures there, and then with the other minority owners, they could like press for that. But in the NFL, the brotherhood of ownership, those 32, they stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Shall not pass. So if they can help you get into a situationship where you are the soul and you got that yourself, they will help you do that.
100%, and that's what happened. So me and Roger were actually texting about NFL ownership this past week. Because it is a very, very, very exclusive club, and it is very racial because it's the old boys club. And I don't care how much money you got, they are not letting a minority owner come in, except one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason that they did that one is because that is a harbinger that the Jacksonville team is going to end up relocating to London.
Because also that was their entryway into overseas.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He owned soccer clubs. That's the only reason. Let's not get it twisted. And plus, Khan has tons of fucking money.
Tons of money, and plus they were just like, this guy wants an NFL team. We need to get into Europe. We need to start expanding over there. Which team do we not care about? Just give them the Jaguars. Who fucking cares?
Let's also not get it twisted. Sean Khan speaks their lingo. He runs with them. Like, the viewpoints are similar to how he feels.
Yes.
Regardless of what he looks like.
Let's
also keep that funky.
Well, Kerry, that typically happens whenever you make that much money.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and keep that all the way real.
I mean, I see it as, the NFL has always been, especially Roger Goodell. He got in, he pulled the David Stern move. I'm going to take this shit global. Right? Yeah. And his goal was always to expand, and it's just like, man, we're going right to London.
And now with the additional game, now you're talking about 4 games per season. You're going to have by, I think what was like 2027, 2028, every single NFL team will have played overseas in Europe. And if you watch a game overseas in London, those fans, first of all, those fans, they're insane. But they wear every single jersey in the entire league. They're like, whoever I'm rooting for, I love it all.
Well, it's just whatever football fans are there, they just show up because
sure. So you'll see every single jersey in the league represented.
All right, so Kerry, you and I have had this talk before, and so knowing that the success that they have over in London. We have seen the games that they have played in Mexico City, and that 130,000 seat stadium gets sold out every time. I don't understand why one of those LA teams, i.e. the Chargers, don't move down to Mexico City.
This has been a conversation.
We have been talking about this for years.
Come on. The fandom down there would be so tremendous. look at this. In Hawaii, they all root for the 49ers because that's like the closest thing there.
Closest thing there, yeah.
What? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't. In Hawaii, they love the 49ers.
Well, there's also
what?
there's also the
Their teams in MLS?
Kerry, there's also the genetic factor in the 49ers fandom because a lot of Asians in that whole Chinese / Hawaiian Samoan thing is all based in San Francisco.
Japanese. But yes.
Japanese, excuse me. Japanese Samoan thing, that's all based in San Francisco all the way up to Alaska and whatnot. So it's weird that they don't really fuck with the lower California teams. But knowing that knowing that the Chargers were in San Diego, which is literally, you can see fucking Mexico.
And you had more Samoans on the Chargers than you did anything else. You know what I'm saying? They should have really rocked. But everybody rocks with the winner, a winner.
Of course. Especially the casual fans. You're only going to be shown winners.
But I'm telling you right now, I mean, if you just see even the fandom that Mexicans have for Dallas, just because of the proximity, you're like, even though it's fucking Dallas. But they are just rabid fans, and especially when you're border town and all that, and you come up, you know Dallas. You know Dallas. That's what you know.
Well, I'll say you also have to look at the travel and logistics nightmare of going to London doesn't exist in Mexico City at all. At all.
No, it does not. And trust me, y'all think y'all turn up in London. London is expensive as shit. They got some shit over there, but the alcohol by volume, the ABV, way lower. It's like, and they do that on purpose. And I asked one of the bartenders over there, how come, or maybe I said, why come? I don't know. But I said, how come the alcohol content over here is so weak? And the bartender literally said, well, we had to lessen it because when it was just a touch stronger, everyone would lose their minds and there would be fights in here all of the time.
Well,
England, the ABV of beer alcohol is just lower.
Well, Gary, you got to remember, they got hooligans over there.
They got
soccer hooligans, man. They have fucking riots over soccer games.
They have rage issues. We got rage issues over here, but guess what? You can still get an 11% beer. Ain't worried about it.
Well, I mean, so you look at Mexico also has the country of Mexico has fully legalized weed.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, so you're looking at that's the largest single country that is fully legalized weed in the world. So it's about to be the world's biggest weed market.
But if you look at it from any team in the league, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, where you're traveling from. Mexico is right there. That would be an easy spot to get to. In some instances, it would be way faster to go to Mexico than it would be to California.
That's what I'm saying. The travel and logistics is easy. So Roger, the other pothead out of the four of us, let me ask you a weed question. Since Mexico legalized weed, are they going to have dope weed, or is it just going to be a bunch of legal Mexican trash?
Probably the same Mexican trash.
Nice, you know what I'm talking about. That shit that comes in bricks, you got to break it apart and fucking, you got to flip all the seeds out with the fucking your driver's license and a magazine. You know, we all know that shit. See, weed like that doesn't exist in America anymore.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't even exist. Like, you can't. What they call mids now is like fucking sour and kush from back in the day. So, like, that brick pack shit does not exist here. And if somebody brings that shit around me, you might get slapped. No, Carrie, nice nose. Don't even bring that in the lab. I will kick you.
We're a hybrid nation. So, listen, you can't come with seeds. Seeds are for planting, not for smoking. I know that. I don't even smoke.
Carrie, I have kicked a few people out of the studio for bringing trash in there. You can't even get. I don't care. Get out of here. Leave. Go home now.
You wouldn't even make edibles with that. I know. You're
goddamn right I wouldn't. Fuck that shit. So, anyway, back to the Eagles, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about. They're lacking so much depth. They have so many holes they have to fill.
And this is what I think that they would honestly be best served building the offensive line. Build on what you know you have. You know you have running backs. you know you have a quarterback that excites not only his teammates but excites
The fan base.
the fandom. So protect him. Protect him with some more linemen, and then your defense is going to be your defense until you can. I mean, you didn't do anything in free agency. Okay, so you decided to stand pat, but you did make this major move to get draft capital for next year. So it tells me you're either going to do something big in free agency soon, or you're going to stand pat and then wait to see what the draft looks like next year to see what players emerge, and then try to build your defense then, or make a big push for a free agent coming up in free agency. Like I'm gonna just throw the name out there. I honestly, you know, I hope they don't get any good players. You know that about me, but still, we do the show. If Mac is somehow becomes available, and you can get a free agent like that into your fold, he's like in the middle of his prime, coming closer to he's in the middle of his prime. If you could get a free agent like that, you're going to draw other free agent defenders that want to play with him. And if your offense has shown any semblance of coming together, especially under Jalen Hurts and what he can do, not only running the ball but passing the ball, especially with the weapons that he has now, Philly could become a destination.
All right, so let me ask you guys, Nice and Roger, Gary, what the fuck's going on with Jadeveon Clowney?
I have no idea.
He visited Cleveland and had a workout, but left without a contract. So what the fuck's going on with this guy?
That's
a mystery.
He's just one of those dudes who. The problem with Clowney, man, Clowney is one of those dudes that just felt like he was naturally gifted. Like, I don't have to do shit. I just show up, and I should get like a brick house, a shitload of money, and I'm just gonna do my thing, whatever.
I gotta push back on that, Nice, because when he was at H-Town, they said he was a hard ass worker. You can't be in that defensive room with JJ Watt and not be a hard worker.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I think he got Odell Beckham'd.
Right, after that Michigan hit.
I think that Michigan hit where the fucking dude's helmet went flying 30 yards and he one-handed the fumble over top of him. I think that was he got Odell Beckham, and it was just like, can you live up to the hype of that one play?
Yeah, because I mean that play was just, it was so amazing. It was like talk for like 2-3 weeks straight.
All right,
like,
so I think let me go back and give you a play before that play history. You guys have to remember that Michigan ran a running play and the referees gave them a first down even though it was this short.
Yeah.
Right? You can go back and watch it. It was this short and they still gave them the first down. And everybody on South Carolina started going fucking psycho. And then the very next play, Football Karma got him back, and then Clowney became a household name. The very next play.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this about Clowney. Because even when he went to Seattle, he dynamically changed that front four, and he was a playmaker.
Yeah. Yeah, in Seattle, yeah.
For a defense that it wasn't the Legion of Boom anymore. He made play after play.
Yeah.
I think at this point, maybe the asking price is too high. Also, coupled with injury history, that could be things that are snagging.
Right, with that
snags in the cog. But it's still kind of a little amazing to me that he's still out there. But at the same time, not so much, because wait for the draft, and then wait for training camp to hit. He's definitely going to be scooped. I think they just want to make him wait so that price could drop.
That goes back to what I was saying. Like, he walks in the building and he's like, I want a shitload of money because I'm just, let me do my thing. Just give me all this money, because he was asking for a lot of money.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll tell you what.
If he doesn't ask for it, Nice, who's going to ask for it for him? I don't blame him for that.
Well, I'll tell you what. What we're going to do. I'm going to say fuck the Eagles because nobody cares, and I'm going to re-up on this Zoom because we're going to talk about something that we never talk about on here. especially since we got Nice on here today.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna
Especially that shirt. Hell yeah.
I'm-
Morocco? I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm going to re-up on this one because we're going to talk about some NBA basketball in about 40 seconds, and that's something we typically never do, but Nice is here, and we got to talk about his guy. We have to have a conversation about his guy, so we'll be back in 40 seconds, y'all. All right, let me re-up, and we're going to do something that we never fucking do because this is a football show, and we are going to talk about basketball because it needs to be talked about right now. I can't believe I'm going to do this. NBA basketball at that. This is incredible. I can't believe I'm about to do this. But this is a sports show. And I guess we have to talk about sports. So we're going to talk about some sports. So, I guess it's the 4 Blunt episode on Gray Matter today. It's going to be interesting because LeBron has been Nice's guy since that kid was in high school. I can't even hate on Nice on this. I can't even make fun of him. He's been a LeBron supporter since day one. And trust me, he's gonna let you guys know about it. Now me, I stopped watching NBA basketball whenever Tim Duncan retired. My motherfucking homie with the quick draw. Yo, so we're going to end up talking about Ohio's favorite native son.
Who's that?
LeBron.
Man.
We got to talk LeBron because LeBron has been Nice's guy since his kid was in high school. And typically we don't talk about basketball at all because I don't give a fuck. This is a football show. But since Nice is here, I wanted to talk about his guy. You know who I'm fucking talking about. Your motherfucking guy above all guys.
LeBron James?
Yeah, see? I'm telling you. Nice isn't even a fan of any NBA team, Roger. He's just a fan of whichever team LeBron's on.
Yes, indeed.
I'm used to that. I'm used to that here in Ohio, boy.
Say it
Go wherever
again.
LeBron go.
Say it again.
Yeah, so Nice. Nice. The whole reason I even wanted to have this conversation is what the fuck they going to do? That injury, because him and Anthony Davis are both hurt. That's
Yeah. It's tough right now, but all they need to do is get them ready for the playoffs.
That's all.
They'll be back. That's all is needed. I mean, to me, I think Anthony Davis, I think nothing's really wrong with him. I think they just kind of like, because if you remember, they just won the championship and started the season right back.
It's like 2 fucking weeks.
Like that.
They only had 2 weeks off, dude.
Yeah, they didn't really like that. So, you know, they like, all right, let's just, say he caught a little injury. Let's just sit him out until, it's really time. And then with this injury with LeBron, they're like, let's just sit him out some more because we don't want to really put too much pressure on him right now. And they'll both be back by playoff time. And then they picked up Andre Drummond, which was a really, really big pickup.
Yeah.
And
are you guys still running for, or are you still gunning for DeMarcus Cousins?
No, because now we got Drummond now. So, we don't really need him. I think he's going to Miami. I think he's going to Miami.
Well, I think DeMarcus Cousins would have been a better fit in LA because then that's the bully.
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping they would take him, but
and plus, DeMarcus Cousins can pass. He's a really good passer out of the post.
He can pass and he can shoot that three, man. His 3-point shooting, like, I don't understand what the Rockets was doing. They're like really, really I don't know what's going on in Houston. Period. Houston, the
period.
football team, the basketball. It's just crazy over there. Right now.
Something's going on with the water in that city.
Yeah. So they got rid of him, and he was actually playing really good for them. So I didn't understand that. He was upset he wasn't getting the starting job, but which is true. You should have started him. He played really good, So I don't know, but now we got Drummond.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this, Dice. Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess DeMarcus Cousins wouldn't have been a good fit in LA because I don't give a fuck if you are LeBron. DeMarcus Cousins will slap the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He gets pissed off, and it's hard to stop that guy when he's pissed off.
Yeah.
So he's going to Miami. Well, Miami's supposedly supposed to be taking him. If he does, it's a perfect fit because Jimmy Buckets is down there, and Jimmy Buckets is just like him. So they'll be together smoking weed, chilling, wilding out, doing whatever.
Smacking motherfuckers, going to South Beach, corrupting the shit out of Tyler Hero.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, it looks like it's gonna be a Lakers Nets finals. Man.
Yeah, so that was my next question to you guys is, what the fuck? How is this even possible? How is the NBA allowing this shit to happen?
I mean, at this point, they're like, we're tired of LeBron, so we'll just make a team, just build a super team to take this nigga out.
Yo, that Nets roster is fucking retarded.
It's ridiculous. It's the biggest roster ever assembled in NBA history.
Yo, see, this is why I don't play video games anymore because teams do this dumb shit. Like you can't play 2K anymore because you have to make a rule where no one's allowed to take the Nets.
Yeah, like why would you take the Nets? It's not even fair. It's Kyrie Irving, James Harden,
Kevin fucking Durant, dude.
Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan. Joe Harris, who is a super marksman. He don't miss when you leave him open. Bryce Brown is pretty good as well. They're just loaded, man. They're so loaded that they're willing to trade. They were trying to trade Spencer Dinwiddie to the Warriors today for what's that for Oubre.
Oh.
They were trying to get Oubre today.
Yo, so you all see they're so loaded that we forgot about motherfucking Jeff Green.
Oh yeah, Jeff Green. Oh yeah. They're fully loaded, man. It's not even fair. And I'm glad the Warriors rejected that trade. I'm glad they did.
Wow, this team is so loaded. This is not even fair. Yo, Blake.
If they would have got Oubre, that would have been. It just wouldn't have been fair, man. It's already not fair.
It's not fair, but it's hilarious because they're only paying Blake Griffin $700,000.
Yeah, he took the low. LaMarcus Aldridge is only getting $1 million.
Now, LaMarcus Aldridge's salary is $24 million. So that means that the Spurs are picking up all that shit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's probably a salary dump on their part then.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're not in Brooklyn or in LA, you pretty much don't have a shot this year. So just fucking mail it in.
Yeah.
This shit is retarded nice. This is so stupid. It's just like these super teams, man. It's cool when you get to the finals, but it makes the regular season some trash.
Yeah, man. I mean, it should allow it to be only two. I liked it when the season started. When the season first started, everybody had two superstars, and just the rest was just regular players. Every team had that. That was the competition. That's competition. That's good.
Yeah, but you see what happened as the season is going on. They're just like poaching.
It just got ridiculous. Like it got really stupid now. Like
makes the game unfair. Makes it unfair.
Yeah, it's just not fair. I mean, and a lot of teams try to make moves, but it's just not. It's not enough, man. Kyrie Irving is one of the best finishers in the league right now. He is. Oh my God.
He's the best ball
very-
handler I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Me
he's
too.
lethal with a basketball. He's the most lethal guy to touch a basketball, man. You can't stop him.
Mhm.
Big guys, small guys, it doesn't matter.
He's got the best handles that I've seen since Pistol Pete, for Christ's sakes. And you're
Yeah.
talking about a long time ago.
Never seen this type of handles. It's ridiculous, man.
He's nasty.
And then you got Kevin Durant, the sniper. Oh my God.
So let's. I'm gonna read off 7 names. 7 goddamn names. They're 1 through 7. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green, Blake Griffin. All those goddamn players are on the same team.
Yes. It's ridiculous, man.
How did they pull off that LaMarcus Aldridge deal? How did they pull that off?
LaMarcus wanted to go there.
That's fucking well, yeah, he's just at this point, wouldn't you want to go there? Shit, I want to go there. I live in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Can I volunteer to be on the squad? Shit. Nice, you know the Barclays ain't far from the crib, son. I can get there in no time. What time's practice tomorrow?
Oh yeah, and and what's cool is after the season, man, we're gonna be hanging out with the bearded one. So, you know, we're gonna be all summer hanging out with the bearded one. Hopefully, you know,
Nice.
if you get a chip, it's gonna be even more.
Nice, you better start brushing your beard out there, man.
Yeah. I gotta.
You gotta get on Roger Harper's level if you want to fuck with James Harden, son.
Yeah, I'm gonna be partying with James all summer.
I mean, that's cool. Just make sure it's in the off season and don't be like Tyson and fuck up the Knicks playoff chances by having goddamn motherfucking J.R. Smith and Griffin the night before a playoff game, drunk and fighting. Yo, so Roger Harper, if you remember the last time the Knicks made a playoff run, all right? The night before Game 5 in the playoffs, we're in Griffin in the meatpacking district. And Tyson has got fucking J.R. Smith in the club, drunk as fuck, getting in fights.
Yeah, and he has a game in a couple of hours.
A couple of hours, and boy, did he play a terrible. Yo, I curse. I'm not even a Knicks fan, and I cursed Tyson out for that shit. I was like, yo, you stupid motherfucker. Like, what are you doing?
Got to do something to take these guys out they mode. Get James Harden fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, what up, Shud?
Smoke him out.
Right.
Oh, yeah, yo, nice. You already tell him, son. If he wants to smoke with the big dogs, he better work out them lungs, man.
You know that. Yeah, man, because this thing is, yeah, it's just it's not fair, man. It's just not fair.
It's not. That's like that roster right there. They could just go 7 deep if they stay healthy and win. They don't even need depth.
Yeah, they don't need anything right now.
When you've got Blake Griffin and Jeff Green coming off the bench, you're just loaded. You're fucking loaded.
Yeah.
You got
And Blake is really bought in. This is like the best, not stat wise for Blake, but just the little things he's doing is just like he's actually playing tremendous defense right now. Tremendous defense. I have never seen Blake Griffin play this type of defense before. It's ridiculous, man. This thing is just.
That's all he got to do is play defense with those 3 offensive players. Shit.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on him whatsoever, man. I wish he could still jump. That'd be awesome if he still had like that 45-inch vertical with this team. Just throw it up in the air. Let that kid go get it.
I mean, he's catching lobs right now.
Nah, it ain't Lob City, man.
It ain't Lob City lobs, but he catching some lobs.
Yo, I didn't even realize that him and DeAndre have been reunited.
Yes. Yeah.
I bet you Chris Paul is over there fucking pissed off right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, but Chris Paul actually got his team looking real good, man. Chris Paul is definitely a culture changer. He goes anywhere he goes.
Underrated.
He makes that team a lot better.
I mean, all right, so I mean, we don't ever talk about basketball. Nice knows this because he's known me forever. I used to be a huge Wake Forest fan. because of the whole
Mhm.
Tim Duncan thing. I love
Yeah.
Randolph Childress, Tim Duncan. So I'm all about Chris Paul.
Yep.
My homeboy, my motherfucking favorite player out of Wake Forest was Josh Howard, but he couldn't stop smoking weed long enough to play for the Mavs because that guy could do everything
Yep.
except put the blunt down.
Yep.
But Chris Paul is a culture changer, but he's also an asshole.
Yes, a big asshole. Very big one.
But on top of that, it also shows you how smart he is because he's president of the Players Association. So
Yeah.
clearly he is a leader.
Yeah, he's definitely a leader. That's why I said he goes any team he goes to, they make it to the playoffs automatically. Without a doubt. I mean, look at what he did with OKC. That last season, everyone thought OKC was going to be the worst team in the league. He took them. He made them get to the playoffs. This year, the Suns went from the bottom of the barrel to the second in the West right now.
Well, they also got that Devin Booker could fucking play, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, they had him last year. Devin Booker was always a sniper, but they needed that one piece, that culture changing piece.
So, in an interview, LaMarcus Aldridge said, "I am not here to be an all-star." So clearly he knows I'm here to win a ring and just get rebounds and contribute to this
Yeah.
team. They're going to win the chip, dude. The Nets are winning it this year. If they don't win,
It's a bust.
James Harden, you'll never win a championship if you don't win this season. It will
Yeah,
never
yeah.
happen for you.
Yeah, it will never happen. This has to be it. Like, if they don't win this chip this year,
It'll be a bust.
then they are really like, you can't put yourself in.
A bust.
None of them can ever put themselves in the category of being the top players in the world.
Well, yeah, Kevin Durant's got 2 rings already, so he can do that. And then Kyrie hit the 3 to win that championship.
But they always have 2 things, both of them. Kyrie always got the LeBron syndrome, where everybody like it's because of LeBron you won that ring, and Durant always has. You went and joined the team that won 73 games and won a championship, and you joined them. They beat you to get the ring, and you went and joined them.
Yeah, but you know what? The one thing for Kevin Durant, though, he goes and joins that team and is the best player on that fucking team. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it became his team.
without a doubt, Kevin Durant is going down as one of the greatest players ever. He's a sniper. He's a cold-blooded sniper. But it's always something that haunts him. That's why they have to win this championship.
I mean, I look at Slim Reaper, and we can justify calling him Slim Reaper because it's that loud 25th anniversary show at Radio City Music Hall when Nice came and got me out front, and we were walking in backstage. Kevin Durant walked in front of us, and I swear to God, he's 9.5 feet tall.
Yeah, man. I was like, who the fuck is this tree of a nigga with a looking crazy? He was in all black. I'm like, who is this nigga? Like,
This
you
guy's-
gotta watch
Yeah, he's 9 feet tall, and I think I weighed more than him. It was really fucking weird, man.
Yeah, but he's an absolute sniper.
Well, I think he's the most unguardable offensive player that we've ever seen because he's 7 feet fucking tall and's got handles that can shoot from 40 feet.
Right over top of you.
It's like, Dirk was the most unguardable player because he's going to shoot threes over top of you. He's 7 feet. Well, Kevin Durant's an athlete. Dirk wasn't an athlete. He was a sniper. Kevin's an athlete, will shake you, but will also shoot right over top at 40 feet. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, man. He's absolutely just dominant. He's unstoppable. Him and Kyrie Irving are just unstoppable. You can't stop them. There's no way they're not gonna give you 30 a night.
So Kyrie used to take a shopping bag from the grocery store and put it around the basketball and tie it
Yeah,
and dribble with that.
yeah.
Fucking genius.
His ball handling skills. Oh my God, he is lethal, man. He's downright scary. Like every time I see him take the court, I be like, oh man, he just gets me nervous every time because I know he's going for third and better.
His sham guy mode is crazy. You ever
Yeah,
see that
man.
shit? He be killing motherfuckers with that shit.
He's really something different, man. He is something different.
Yeah, he is.
All right, so let me ask you guys, because I know my answer. Who do you think the best player in the NBA is right now?
Well, I mean, everybody got their own player and their own opinions. A lot of people say Luka. A lot of people say Antetokounmpo. A lot of people say I still stick with LeBron because of the years that he's doing it, and he's still doing it at the level of these guys. Like, I mean, we're in year 18, and he's still giving you 38-point triple doubles and shit like that. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? He is just that guy.
Yeah, he got the numbers. I like Durant.
Yeah, I mean, Durant definitely.
I think the best basketball player in the league is Luka.
Yeah, I mean
That kid is fucking amazing.
He definitely will get there because he has skills, man. His skills is just ridiculous, man. Like he
All right, so
can do it all.
nice. Look at his numbers for this year. He's averaging 28.5 a game for fourth in the league in scoring.
Yeah,
And he's fourth in the league in assist at 9 a game,
yeah.
and he's 19th in rebounding at 8 a
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm.
That's your point guard giving you 28, 9, and 8 a night.
Yeah.
And this is his third year in the league. This kid is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be, at some point he's gonna take over the league.
No, he's not my favorite player to watch. My favorite player to watch is Dame Dollar. It's Dame time, baby.
Oh man, you can't forget about him.
Yo, I mean, come on, dude. That guy is the most clutch shooter since Robert Horry.
Yeah, he puts it in the bucket, though.
Dude, every time that they need it, I don't care if it's 75 feet.
Yeah, he's
Bank.
in there.
Man, he is like his range is just ridiculous, man. His range, I mean, at this point, his range has gone further than even Steph Curry range right now. He's pulling from almost half court now. Like,
Yeah, it's
he's
retarded.
shooting half-court jump shots. Like, it's ridiculous. He's literally shooting half court jump shots right now. This is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. The things that he does, but
Yeah, he's my favorite player to watch because I love clutch. You know me, Nice. It's all about do you perform when it counts the most, and boy, does that guy fucking hit it when it counts.
oh man, and he will hit it from 30 feet. Like, it's ridiculous, man. This guy is something special, man. It's just that team that he's on. Somebody has to move. They have to break up that team at some point. It's just not working. Like, you know how the NBA goes. If you're going 3 years in a row with the same squad and you keep on getting stopped in the playoffs, somebody has to go. Something got to happen. You got to break that team up.
There he
And
is.
the owner is just refusing to break that team up for some reason.
There we go. Yeah, I said it to all three. It's
No, it was a lockout. I don't know what happened. Big lockout.
There we go. I said it to all three. It's
No, it was a lockout. I don't know what happened. Big lockout.
Oh, we got an audio loop on going, Carrie. Mute your YouTube.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Big lockout.
Oh, we got an audio loop on.
I got to let it be known.
All right. My bad, Carrie. Yo, because all three names just come up automatically. Whenever I add one, the other two just automatically come in. So I don't know what happens. So anyway, as you can see, the question that I ask everybody is who do you think the best player in the NBA is right now?
Well, loaded, but I still gotta say, I still gotta say LBJ.
Yeah, I got to, man.
It's tough not to say him. My man, 36, and he's still giving it, babies, to the what they call them, the diaper dandies. He's still giving it to them. He's still giving them everything he wants. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo is like he's an athlete's athlete.
Yeah.
But when he gets in the playoffs, he's not a Rubik's Cube. He's easy. Well, even a Rubik's Cube now is easy. He's not that difficult to figure out. Like, you know what to do to stop him, and it gets done.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat went all the way to the chip because they beat them. That was
you just pick them up for
the toughest contest for them. The Celtics weren't that tough of a contest for them. Celtics not ready yet. Danny Ainge has done amazing things, but sometimes you could be a little bit too amazing. Sometimes you've outmaneuvered yourself, which is what Danny Ainge has now done. And now he does still have the ability to kind of rein that back because he does win the majority of all the trades he gets in, but he's outmaneuvered himself because he never really got that big man situation solved, or he had it, but he didn't.
Al Horford wasn't the answer.
Right, but I mean, even just getting rid of the last big man they did, the white boy with all the tattoos. I'm sorry, I forget his name.
I don't remember his name either.
He fit that team.
It starts with an O. It's Olden something.
I don't know about that, but he fit that team. He fit that team well. So I gotta give it. I would say LBJ, and then the sheer ascension of what I've seen out of Joel Embiid. Like, if Joel Embiid can give me this, then that dude is like, yo, you give me a center, a 7-footer with handles, could shoot the three, go down low, give you everything you want, block shots, rebound, like, he literally does it all for them. So, I gotta give it up for them two right now.
It doesn't disturb you him balling like a little baby walking off the court like that.
When he lost, when he lost to Kawhi Leonard, the literal glove who hit an amazing shot in the deep corner, no, not at all. That showed me you care.
Yeah, no, save that shit for the locker room though, dude.
No, but you know what? Also, think about it. Different generation, and they're in their Drakes.
Yeah, I forget. I'm too old for these kids, man.
The Drakes are always at the surface. The Drakes are right here. You could drop a tear at any second for a shot that you made because you just love the way you're formed. Our coach taught me about this, and then I flicked that wrist, and then, damn, that was good.
Yo, y'all remember when the Lakers won the chip, and then they interviewed Ron, and he said, "Yo, I'd like to give a shout out to my therapist."
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But that's a different era. You know what I'm saying? That's a totally different era.
Well, that's Ron. That's a different human being.
But you know what? But you say that. But he is the person who is a direct connection to this new generation because he's in tune with who he is now. And when he didn't know who he is, he was all over the place. Now he knows who he is. He's strong. He's solid. Like, I don't know if anybody has watched his documentary. I recommend that you do. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. It's about him growing up in Queensbridge and all the shit that he went through and everything. If you haven't seen it, go watch Ron Artest's.
All right, so I got some Ron Artest history because Ron Artest and Lamar Odom used to record at Quad Studios all the fucking time. Which was awful. It was horrible. You literally had to force interns to take those sessions. It was like punishment. And then there's the whole Mobb Deep connection because P and Ron were friends. So I got to hang out with that dude all the fucking time.
Yeah. He's a little bugged out.
Let a world peace.
Yeah, he's bugged out, man.
That's a big fucking dude though. Jesus Christ, he is huge.
But you have to understand like how his pops was rearing him. Also, Queensbridge projects, the largest projects on earth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like and I don't like for people who don't know, they hear projects, it sounds like this this mystical thing that you don't know about. Let me tell you, like I'm from nice, like projects like ain't nothing mystical about the fucking project.
Especially the 80s and 90s where he grew up.
Oh, man.
Ain't nothing mystical.
It was rough. It was rough.
Like, you're counting your blessings. If you nice making it to your age, me making it like I'm like, yo, that I'm living. I tell people all the time, I'm living in the bonus because we got out and we was able to move to like another apartment, housing and whatever. And then like my parents like busted their guts, and I was able to get a decent education. I was smart. I'm interested in education and all that shit. So I was able to do some other things on my own, but they definitely gave me the foundation to like press on and press forward. But projects is not to be glorified.
Yeah, shout out to my mom and dad for my upbringing.
Absolutely, that shit is fucking rough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like people wear it as a badge of honor, but when you have nothing else and you really don't have like any other outlets and really other get outs, then sometimes you do stamp that. People in prison stamp that as a badge of honor. Is it though? You know what I'm saying? So it's like getting out is the thing. And like those who recognize that and see that, yay, you know what? Those who really care about you in those situations will not allow you to get into the situations that they're in to continue however they need to move.
Yeah, they'll always be like, no. You stay playing basketball. This is not for you.
Exactly.
You got a chance to get out this motherfucker. You keep playing basketball.
But at the same time, as you're trying to survive that shit, you can't be a sucker. You gotta be in the mix. Like every time you step outside, every time you step out of your apartment, get on the elevator, walk down the stairs, whatever the situation may be, you never know what you're about to walk into. Walk into you. So you just gotta be steeled up and ready. So that puts you on a guard. That puts you in a certain mood every single time you have to walk out of your own house. That's your base. That's your base. You know what I mean? And once you leave base, you open. So you got to move with a certain thing. So I don't fault him for any. He got his shit together now. I applaud that man.
Yo, his shoulders are the widest goddamn shoulders ever. That guy has to turn sideways to go through doorways, dude.
His shoulders is the widest shoulders I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yo, Kerry, it looks like you see him in person. It's like he's got shoulder pads on.
Yeah, I never seen nothing like it.
Him and Dwight Howard. Those are. I mean, it's like they skip chest day, leg day to only do shoulders.
Yeah.
Biggest shoulder dudes I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, those two were over on the shoulder press, and TKO Spikes was on the neck machine and wouldn't give that shit up. Yo, dog, I can get a set in. Nah, I'm in here.
I will say, all the moves that the Brooklyn Nets have made. Listen, if you don't win the chip, you played yourself.
Well, Kerry, we said that before you popped in. If James Harden doesn't win a chip this year, he's never winning one.
You put yourself in a position where and my peoples will know this. You bet not lose. You bet not lose because you will look super silly.
Hey.
So if you telling me LeBron will come back with AD and them two with the cast of characters they got. I mean, I really like Schroeder. I like that kid a lot. But you telling me that if they meet you in the finals, they'll beat you, then all talk on LBJ needs to be shut down.
All right, so I don't. You also have to remember they got the Kevin Durant factor of Kevin Durant being on the greatest team of all time and not winning a chip. So he knows what it's like to carry that burden of you better win. Yeah. This is a legacy killer.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. These is legacy killers. Like they have to win this chip. If they don't,
they must.
It's gonna look.
Yo, if LeBron wins this chip this year over top of that team, then
there's no more discussion.
Well, there's no more discussion for this era, but he will enter. He will officially enter the conversation with Mike now.
with Mike now. Yeah, he'll officially enter that conversation.
He's still got light years to go to reach Tom Brady's territory, though.
He would
I
have.
don't think nobody's gonna reach Tom Brady territory,
Nope.
man. This guy's completely different, man. He is something. I don't know what he is.
With LeBron, if he beats a team, a starting five of all-stars, with then all-stars coming off the bench, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Well, that's the thing. It's the Tom Brady effect. That's the I'm going to go to a new team with no offseason and win a Super Bowl. It's like you're doing things that no other human can do.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So I think it's and
Number
actually,
14.
in all actuality, I think it's kind of awesome that both he and AD are hurt right now, and then have time. The Lakers will still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of these other players some time to play, right? And so now they come back healthy, less tread on their tires. This is their break. This is
That's the plan.
LeBron's break. Okay? They come back in the playoffs refreshed. Now you're gonna face a fresh-faced Portland team, and I gotta tell you, Norman Powell was not no any day signing. Norman Powell has been a baller.
Well, you
Y'all
got-
Norman Powell.
You also got the Clippers that they're going to have to go through, who just picked up Rajon Rondo too.
Yeah,
playoff
Rondo.
Rondo.
Oh my God.
Dallas improved getting JJ Redick. They needed the shooter that they lost in Seth Curry.
Yep.
Even though Seth Curry is a better defender, but still, they still got that shooter though that can help out. And if you tell me KP can actually be available, now I'm looking at him different. You got a Denver team who Jokic could very.
Oh my God.
I was just about to say what if they get matched up with Denver in the first round? Then that's going to be a struggle
my
too.
God.
He's having
That's
a legendary
amazing.
season. Donovan Mitchell is locked all the way the fuck in, and Michael Porter is next up. So
Didn't they just pick up somebody too?
Yeah, they picked up Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. Yeah, so
Aaron Gordon, who's a willing defender, a monster athlete who got robbed of every single dunk championship he was in. I mean, Zach LaVine, mad props. But that last one y'all was in together,
yeah, come on, that 360 fucking on the come on under that nobody else can do that one. How do you not win that one?
Yeah, they robbed him.
Stop the
They
nonsense.
definitely robbed him.
So I'm saying the Western Conference is crazy, and we're not even talking about Phoenix, who's the 2 seed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Chris Paul, and talk about Chris Paul's legacy. Everywhere Chris Paul has gone, he has made dumpster fires into legitimate teams. And he's only gone to dumpster fires. The time that he tried to go to a Cadillac,
They wouldn't let him.
With Kobe Bryant,
The league intervened.
but David Stern shot that shit down, which was fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Because what would that look like? Because
Oh my God.
That shit going on right now.
is one of my favorite point guards of all time. I would love to see him get a chip. And if he was with Kobe, him and Kobe together, man, stop the nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but would they have made them try to run the triangle with Chris Paul? I think you would have to switch up the offense with Chris Paul, though.
Yeah.
You have to allow the offense to run through Chris Paul and not through whatever the point of the triangle is.
But Chris Paul can run any offense. He's one of the illest basketball minds there is.
No, I know.
Out of trouble. I don't think he would have any trouble. You're talking about a point guard who excels at the mid-range shot. That's where the triangle is like focused on. So he would have crushed the triangle. What?
Him and Rajon Rondo, man, they are culture.
Would have crushed the triangle.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Kerry, I'm a huge Chris Paul fan. He went to Wake Forest.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Wake
Randolph
Forest.
knows all that. You know.
If you can start the Wake Forest lineage with Randolph Childress, then you know what you're talking about. Goddamn
You know-
Randolph Childress, baby.
Yep.
So ain't no problems over there. Ain't no problems.
Well, it's funny because I became a Wake Forest fan because obviously I was a kid when Randolph Childress was playing, but they were the first team to have a losing record to make it to a Sweet 16 because they won their conference tournament and then they made a Sweet 16 run. And I was just like, this is fucking amazing. And this is fresh off and you guys will remember because we're all old enough, Loyola Marymount Hank Gathers, Jeff Fryer shooting from 75 feet, Bo Kimball, West Virginia, left-handed free throw for the first one. You know, and when you're a kid, you just you latch on to anything that's like moving. So,
But that's when, like, in college basketball, you had stars, like
Yeah.
the star power was like whoever your high school hooper was, like the high school hooper you identified, even if they wasn't in your school but they played against your school, and then you heard they signed somewhere, you was watching that team because you was looking at that player like, yeah, I seen that player play, and then you followed them, and then you were like, oh shit, now they're the man. Oh wait, they're up for National Player of the Year. Yeah, now I seen them in high school. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all want that. Like,
well, yeah, I saw LeBron play as a sophomore in high school at Wheeling Jesuit University because we were there for practice for the West Virginia Ohio Football All-Star. Yeah, our West Virginia was housed at Wheeling Jesuit University, and they held a summer tournament, and LeBron's team came to that summer tournament. And it was funny because he's only a sophomore in high school, and his name was the biggest part of the sign. It said LeBron James, and then the name of the tournament underneath and shit.
See how players are different, and even then, at that age, you see who's different. You like, oh shit.
All right, so we only got 1 minute left, and I'm not going to re-up on this one. The last note that I'm going to throw in here, because I am a boxing fan, is Manny Pacquiao and Crawford are discussing a June fight. This should be fucking interesting, because Crawford's going to beat the shit out of Manny, and I'm a huge Manny fan.
Bing, 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 pow.
I'm a huge Manny fan, and Crawford is going to beat the fucking Filipino out of him. Jesus Christ, that's not a good fight, buddy.
I love Bud Crawford. Love him.
Yeah, he can fight. So, this has been fun. We never talk about basketball. We should probably talk about more sports on a sports show. I don't know. We might try this again next week. Nice. It was good to see you for this long. This is crazy.
Yes.
Roger Harper.
I will be missing though, because
Art.
video next
All
week.
right, Kerry. All right, nice.
Yo, nice. Where you shooting the video at?
All over Queens in Long Island.
Yo, hit me up. Hit me up, son. Yo, hit me up.
Yeah, for the single with me and Havoc, Boss of the Bosses Part 2.
Yeah, hit me up, man. I wanna smoke a blunt in the background of the video.
Hell
I
yeah.
got you.
Holla. Please all day, baby. Holla.
All right. I appreciate everybody's time and energy. I will see you guys later. We will be in touch this week. Yo, nice. Don't forget, man. I'm trying to be in that video. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
All right, guys.
Y'all.
All right, this has been another episode of Gray Matter. Yeah, we went an extra hour talking about basketball, which is something we would never do again, probably. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. So I appreciate everybody. Yo, Flea, you already know. Buck, Benjamin, everybody that came to watch us. It's dope that you guys sit here and watch me smoke weed and talk to my friends about sports. I think it's hilarious. Aiden, thanks for popping in, homie. It's your first time watching Gray Matter. Make sure you come next week at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. We will be breaking down the Detroit Lions with their new coach, Motor City Dan Campbell. So, until then, RIPP 333, and I'm probably going to be mixing some beats later on, so I'll see you guys in a little bit.